sing that song. Yeah, I'm 560 KBLU. Russ Clark with you on a beautiful Thursday. Beautiful if you like cooler weather,
Yeah,
Chris.
I got my
Chris
jacket.
Larson's with me. I saw you got the hoodie.
It's not, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't put the hoodie up.
No.
You do have a hoodie. You know,
It was chilly this morning. I was like, oh,
it was.
jacket.
I brought a jacket. I didn't put it on. You know, I ride my bike at night to the gym and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Coming home last night was a little brisk. A little brisk. I mean, I had a t-shirt and shorts on, you know, which is usually pretty good, but I made sure I ran in the house, gave my wife a hug immediately. She's
warm me up.
She said, ouch, that's cold. Yeah. No, she didn't push me away, but she should have.
Oh, yeah, my wife.
Yeah, get out of here. Freezing, want to share it.
Yeah, the first time I got my jacket was Tuesday on the way to the Republican meeting. Because I was like, it's that time of year. It was chilly out. And my wife was saying, man, make sure you take your jacket. I was like, I was going to not take my jacket just because you told me to take my jacket, but you know, it is chilly. So, so I took my jacket.
You guys had that friendly marriage going. I'm going to do it because you said I had to. I'm not going to do it. No.
That was a good meeting. Carbone was there, and Stevie Seals spoke.
Sure,
and those
corporation
guys,
commissioners,
the ACC guys.
Yeah,
that was a good meeting. What we got?
Very, very entertaining. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Well, it is a little cold out this morning.
Yeah, well, we worry about you too, since you've accelerated in age and everything. I want to say, make sure you stay warm.
Yeah. It's 45 degrees in the cab of my truck right now.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, because I got, I'm driving a big red Ford, and it says right on the dash what the outside temperature was.
Yeah,
I forgot to roll my window up all the way. So it's 45 inside. So.
You might want to push that heater button.
Oh, I've already turned the defrost on.
Okay, that's right. There's a lot of humidity out there.
It fogged up like crazy.
Sure.
And I'm like, oh no, it ain't gonna be no good.
Right.
But and I look at it this way: all the humidity that's out there, it just makes me want to work harder today.
What?
Yeah,
man. Good for you.
When the weather's cool, I can actually work an extra 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So that'll make it like a total of 4 minutes for the whole day.
Yeah. But it's kind of funny. You were talking about, I wore a sweater. Listen, I got my pants on, my big boy shorts on, and my sweatpants, long sleeve t-shirt, sweatshirt, and then I have a rain slicker just in case.
Yeah, when the sun comes up, you'll start peeling off those layers, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I'm waiting on. That's why I still live here in Yuma. Just wait 30 minutes. The weather will change. But I didn't even look at my phone to see what I thought the outside temperature on my phone said it's only 52, and I get in the truck and it said 45. So then I checked my phone and it said 52. No, I trust my truck because I don't have trust
the truck.
Okay. I trust. What's a Ford? Come on.
All right.
But I trust the truck, and I said, okay, because I feel it.
Yeah.
My bones haven't seized up. The joints are still moving. But 45. That's reminding me when I used to work up north. To heck with it. You guys have a good morning.
Get to work. Thank you, sir.
Take care.
That was Mr. Andy. It's going to rain tonight. Like in the morning. It says we see it's a 57% chance of rain at 2 a.m.
Oh, really? Oh,
by 6 a.m. it's 88. Goes all so, and then by 9 a.m. it's 100%.
Really?
Yeah, 100% is a high percentage.
Yeah, that's like the highest percentage I've ever seen.
That's all I I don't think you can get 101. But it's going to rain all day tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow.
Yeah,
I
tomorrow.
thought you were talking about today.
No, tonight. Tonight it's going to start at 2 a.m. Well, that's actually tomorrow, early in the morning. Actually tomorrow, but I consider it tonight. It's still going to be nighttime.
Right.
Well, even at midnight, 22% chance. So it looks like rain all day. In fact, 6 o'clock tomorrow evening is still going to be 60%.
Huh.
It's going to rain continuously
Yeah, it's on Friday and Saturday.
It's all through Saturday.
Yeah.
I don't know who we write and complain about.
Whenever people say, "Well, yeah, it's rain night," I was like, "Should is like somebody is requiring that to happen. It should rain night." Who said that? The meteorologist. Well, he doesn't have the authority. Only God has the authority to say when it should or when we expect it to rain.
It's a meteorologist's job
predicted
to make a prediction.
Yeah,
but they never.
They can't.
They're
say
never
it
held the feet to the fire of being accurate. That's why I want a job where I don't have to be accurate.
You don't have to be right at.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure the fact checkers don't even work with the meteorology.
I've always been wanting to do a little analysis of how accurate they are based on far out the predictions.
Yeah, I would say it's probably better.
Lost
it'd be better than
you think.
Yeah, it would be.
Well, it's not hard in Yuma. It's going to be hot for the next.
But they got a science going on all the prevailing winds and the fronts. They know about the movement. We've been tracking them and looking at them. There's a propensity on how it goes.
And it's just statistically, this is what has happened when these conditions exist. And so probably will happen again.
Yeah, so go to your basement. It's like a tornado.
Yeah.
And that happens.
Yeah.
Hey, President Trump signed the release of the Epstein files.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Climatic, non-climatic. What do you think? What do you think?
Well, I thought it was interesting that he's like, all right, it's going to happen. Everybody just sign it. And then you had the one dude that didn't.
Yeah, who was that?
I don't remember.
It was 427 to 1 in the House.
Yeah,
I never even bothered looking.
And then the Senate they passed it before they even got to him. They said, as soon as it comes in, we'll just automatically let it go.
Well, I think there's been so much clamoring for it, but I think the clamoring come because Trump stalled on it, and I was wondering what was up with him, and now it looks like it was a big play to get so much attention. Everyone's going to dive into it because they know there's something hidden. Well, and the only thing hidden is all the Democrat activity. Yeah, not his. Trump and Epstein didn't like each other.
Yeah, near the end there, he had turned on him.
Yeah, Trump never went to the island. He rode on the plane a few times because his plane was down, but he barred Epstein from his facilities. Thought he was,
he's stealing.
He was no. I don't know if that was it.
No, that was it. He said, he came to Mar-a-Lago and got some of his, stole some.
Oh, that might be it. But he also.
Trump said, "I don't do that again." He did it again.
So we also had I guess he approached a friend's daughter or something.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, that was just creepy. He said the guy was a creep and said goodbye. Yeah. Well, we don't need you around. And that's what comes out of all the Epstein files, and the left keep looking at it like there's a nugget here. There's a way to get rid of him. This is it. And they've been doing it for 10 years. Trying to find something that this guy's done. He's got to be a crook. He's got to be illegal. And so far, they've manufactured a few laws that they think he broke, which was crap. He got prosecuted in some places. That's getting thrown out now because it was, kind of a community that it was Washington, D.C. and stuff. And I don't think any laws were really broken. Nobody does, really. There's nothing.
Well, the financial one, technically, maybe, but everybody does that. And I sold homes for a few years, and everybody rounded up, on the number.
But this was silly. It was on a loan.
Yeah.
That
was paid off.
The banks also had their own people look at it and agree with the values.
Right.
They got the money back. There was no losses, no crimes.
Right.
He wasn't trying to claim it as his primary residence or anything.
Right.
It was just a business deal. He said it was worth so many millions. The bank says it is. Loan you the money. He paid the money back, and they said, it's a crime. You benefited. Like how? Other than he's just a business guy.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't hold up. In fact, many people spoke on it and says, look, you could arrest everybody in the whole industry.
That was my thing. I don't know the numbers. I don't know the truth one way or the other, but I do know everybody does that.
Well, then it's just
he does it to a much greater scale because of who he is, everything about him is a higher scale than normal people.
Yeah.
But it's still the same thing everybody else does. Everyone rounds up.
The judge even made a comment about Mar-a-Lago, like it was only worth about $17 million or something, which No, I mean, a blank property around there with nothing on it, just land would be worth more than that. And, it's just a high rent district that he doesn't understand. I think he could sell Mar-a-Lago for a lot more than 17 million.
Well, especially, just, it's not just the property, but, now there's the name and associated with it, the title associated with it.
and
People would, who wouldn't want to say, "Hey, I own Mar-a-Lago," it's
I'd
gonna
like to
jack
think
up
I
the
could.
price.
Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Morning, Russ. How you doing?
We're doing well, Ted. Good morning.
Did you declare your RV as your primary place of residence?
I didn't. No, I did not. I never did. I never did. I didn't really have a place I parked it. So what am I going to do? Like under the the overpass on Highway 8? I don't know.
Yeah. I really got a problem with Kelly and the rest of these retired military.
As you should.
Yeah.
And I remember as a kid in school saying the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag every morning.
Right.
10 years I did it.
You took 10 years to get out of high school?
No, that was out of first grade.
Oh, okay.
I told you I went to congressional, man. They didn't let you out. They didn't let you out on that exemption card. No, they've got to stop this because they're calling for insubordination within.
Yeah, and we got to explain what they're talking about. They're talking to military troops to not follow directions and orders from the current administration because they're all illegal and you have a right to not follow them. Kind of crazy.
Right. I think that they should be called back into active duty immediately. No, I'm serious. Because they can be called back into active duty. That's part of their contract they signed. And then immediately try them in a military court for, let's see, insurrection, insubordination, and be done with it. I think that flight up into space affected his brain, man.
I don't know. It's kind of crazy. I would think the ex-military people would be saying those kinds of things, and they're equating it to like the My Lai massacre or something. That a officer doesn't, if something's illegal and unconstitutional, they're not supposed to follow it. So I was given orders to kill babies. You can't do that. But I was given orders to protect the border patrol from mobs. Well, just don't do it. Really?
Military law and civilian law are two different things.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And he ought to know it. But like I say, that little trip to space may have had an effect on his brain. And the rest of them, I don't know what their problem is.
I don't know. They just hate Trump so much.
They hate the United States. Didn't we elect him as president?
Yeah. Well, I think
most people did, yeah.
Yeah. They hate us.
Right.
That's the feeling I get, Russ. They hate us, not Trump. Us. U.S.
I haven't read a lot, though, about these guys coming. I mean, it's out there about people like Kelly coming forward and telling troops and militaries to not follow the orders.
So that's insubordination, not following. That's insubordination. Call it what it is.
I thought the press would be a little more hot on it. It would be just like front page stuff.
It was all over the television last night on all the networks.
Well, just looking at news media this morning, I couldn't find it as a front story or anything, or a popular story or anything. It's out there, but it's not. I thought it would be front page stuff, but it's not.
Well, no. Right now they're trying to protect the Democrats, Jeffries and the rest of them over this pedophile.
Yeah.
I don't care. They did it. The trap was set. Now they're caught in it. Let them deal with it.
Yeah. Oh, who really doesn't care is Trump, man. He's hilarious on the way. He said, it doesn't matter. We got other things to do. But, since
don't
you guys,
talk about it. It's going to take away.
So you guys want it, here it is. It's all about, Democrats, really.
Right. And like I said, Kelly and the rest of them need to be called back into active duty and then tried for their subversive acts.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Aye, Captain. Have a good day.
I hate to agree with you, but okay, go ahead. Take care, man. Bye-bye. Yeah, that was such a shock to me.
Here.
Huh?
I see an article on CNN here.
Okay. Yeah, they're out there, but it's not like the first thing you see or anything. I thought it'd be
I Googled it specifically.
Yeah, but to
a half a dozen members of Congress. So out of 500 people, 6 of them are saying that. But and technically they're not wrong. You have the right. In fact, you have the duty to not obey illegal order. But what makes it illegal?
Trump had it. This Trump order does not make it illegal. Right.
I don't think it's proper. I don't think it's within the proper usage of the military personally, but I don't think it's an illegal order. They should obey the. So.
Yeah, we're not talking or something. Talking about order and of other states, which they have every right to do. National Guard and all that stuff.
Right. National Guard is much more appropriate than the active duty military.
Which he can do both. Yeah, he can.
I disagree with doing it, but he has the authority to do so.
Yeah, it's not something he made up. It's not a new thing. It's just not used much. I want to talk about double standards a little bit because it exists sometimes in politics.
They exist all over the place. Yeah.
But I didn't really think about the double standards when Texas did the gerrymandering.
Right.
Well, we know it's double standards because we know that. Well, you do states like Illinois, California, and you look at how they're gerrymandered. That really pushes out any chance of Republicans representing the real percentages that they have in the state. They push them out, and it's kind of accepted. It's been accepted. It's approved by the Supreme Court.
Yeah, it's true everywhere.
It is. It's
gerrymandering happens.
It's part of the landscape.
Yeah.
So Texas, their state allows it. They did it. And a judge, a 3-panel judge, just a day or so ago, said, no, you can't do it.
Right.
Because it's racist.
and it's not racist if it just happens to collect up people, of a race. If more Black people are Democrat than Republican, and they tend to live in the same general vicinity, then they're going to be in the same basic district. They didn't draw it to make it racist.
That's exactly right.
It just
at least according to Greg Abbott, the governor, it was never drawn to be racist. What are you talking about, racist?
Right.
We just did it for political advantages. Right. And I don't think, according to them, race was nothing we even looked at. But the judges looked at it and says, it's racist.
Yeah.
With what do they base that on? I mean, to call the governor and everybody, they said they got in the war room and said, look, we want to make sure that these minorities are cut out, that they don't have a majority of the minorities, which is not, I don't know if it's a ruling yet for Supreme Court, but that's where it's going, that you can't just do things based on race because racism is racism no matter which way you go.
Exactly. I agree.
But now what they're saying is if it had a at least this is my interpretation. If you had a minority majority district and you redistricted to where that went away, it was racist to undo the racism.
Well, I'm looking at the district map right now.
Yeah.
Show me the gerrymandering.
Well, it's there, but it's not like they cut across the whole state like,
it's not like
Illinois.
These, District 7.
No.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't want.
I mean, if anyone's guilty, Arizona, we have that district going all the way across the bottom there.
And they do famously in Illinois. I mean, that's one of the poster boys when they put up there to see those snakes running through.
Right.
Looks like a snake. The district is, hundreds of miles long and about 50 feet wide.
Yeah. I disagree with that ruling.
Yeah. But the judges came out and said that. And Ken Paxton said for years Democrats have engaged. Well, they said, but it was gerrymandering. Well, gerrymandering has been deemed acceptable.
I'm looking at Illinois right now.
I know, yeah. It's completely gerrymandered. I mean, in a hilarious way.
Yeah. Not even. I mean, they got one wrapping around
and Texas doesn't.
other.
But they called it racist.
That's ridiculous.
And Ken Paxton says, for years, Democrats have engaged in partisan redistricting, which is what Texas did, partisan redistricting.
And everyone
which is what gerrymandering is all about and did from the very start.
Yep.
It intended to eliminate Republican representation. But when Republicans respond in kind, Democrats rely on a false accusation of racism to secure a partisan advantage.
Yep.
The judges said, to be sure, politics played a role in the drawing of the 25 map in Texas, but it was much more than just politics. Okay.
No,
and
this
is where they did mind reading.
Yeah.
Substantial evidence shows that Texas racially gerrymandered the 25 map. I would love to see their hypothesis on how they think that's true.
Yeah, the only evidence that could be somebody writing down, we're going to do this racially, and nobody did that.
Not to my knowledge, and not according to the governor. And they would be,
and
it would hang themselves to do it.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be to anybody's advantage.
Nobody.
It's for political.
And if the politicians did do something like that, they should be.
Exactly, yeah.
They should be spanked and spanked hard.
Yeah.
But
for being racist,
I would challenge that even exists. I think in the minds of these judges.
That's the only place it can.
Because they're looking at the outcome. And the outcome is probably, and I'm guessing I didn't do the research on it, that some minority majority districts existed after they were done, and they didn't look at race, and they just went on the politics. It didn't exist. That doesn't mean it's racist to undo the racist gerrymandering.
Yeah, I would say at most it's correlation, not causation.
Yeah. So it's hilarious to see this. I don't know what's going to come. According to Paxton, it's going to go to the Supreme Court. I mean, it's got to.
It's got to.
And that's unfortunate, man. Why the laws of the land complex probably, and people disagree and all that. But the direction of the Supreme Court right now and their rulings and everything is pretty cut. The things that are,
I like what they're doing.
Yeah, acceptable, not acceptable, whatever, and pretty straightforward, pretty equally applied. It's not favoring one side or the other, but it tends to favor Republicans because the things that have been suppressed, like Second Amendment, are Republican programs to say that shouldn't happen.
Right.
Things that have been suppressed are like gerrymandering racially for for minorities is not acceptable.
And I don't know that anybody would be doing that in this day and age, because
but that's the way a lot of it has been set up.
And it was, back in like the 60s.
Well, and that was an interpretation, I think, from like a 67 civil rights ruling or something, misinterpreted, that says, well, now that we're all equal, we have to make sure that we have some minority majority. No, that was never part of it. And the Supreme Court has been making that clear. And yet these three judges didn't get that message somehow. Or two of the three. It was a split.
Yeah, it was two.
It was split. 2-3, 2-1 out of a three judge panel. That was not the 9th either. That was the 5th district.
I don't know which district is which, but I'm surprised that
California is the 9th. That's the one we're in, and that's the one that historically is overruled the most.
Right. I'm surprised that anyone would that Texas is in, because Texas has to be like almost the whole district because it's so huge.
It's not.
No. But no, I would expect them to be more conservative and
well, and it shouldn't come to conservative or non-conservative.
Right.
It should come to the letter of the law and what's going on, and somehow that's blurred. And even in the Supreme Court, it's blurred. You get these 6-3 decisions all the time based on feelings, more than just the word and the letter. And the left has a understanding of the law is flexible and interpreted differently based on current, and that's not the way it was set up in most everyone's opinion and knowledge. It was set up to be exactly the verbiage, and if you don't like it, there's opportunities to change it. But you don't change it by saying, "I feel differently today." Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Everybody feels differently every day nowadays. It seems like.
I feel differently.
But you talk about gerrymandering and all that stuff, and what we really got to be careful is not so much Republican and Democrats, but it's race to race. I mean, look at what's happening in Michigan, Minnesota, all up in there. We have Somalians that are little by little infiltrating our system. What was that? What was that act of? What was called the McCarran-Warner Act of 1952 that forbidded Muslims from holding office.
I don't think that applies today. Yeah.
Well, no. Let me tell you why it doesn't apply today. Because on November the 18th of 1990, the 101 First Congress quietly repelled that act forbidding the Muslims from holding office. And the members of that Congress were Dick Cheney, John McCain, Joe Biden, Al Gore, John Kerry. Oh, and get this one, Mitch McConnell, Chuck Schumer, and Nancy Pelosi. They're the ones that quietly abolished that act.
Well,
Makes you think. See, so that pond that we have up there and that scum comes from both sides of the aisle.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
So, I mean, are we going to wake up tomorrow and I don't know if we're going to have it. We got pennies are gone now, but are we going to have in Allah we trust?
Well,
I don't think it's that extreme, but
well, we say a lot of things aren't extreme, but look where we're at today.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're definitely not there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's okay. I know you can't probably portray your how you feel. If you think we're not there, and if you think
I portray exactly how I feel. I don't go back.
Okay. Well, I just think that this is a country that was founded, and believes in God.
Yeah.
And we walked away from a lot of that. I don't know if you want to agree with me or not. I don't know where you stand, but I feel that we're a country that's turned our back on God. We got a lot of crap going on that we shouldn't be doing, and we forget to follow and listen, and consequences of actions. But if we're not careful, we will find ourselves praying to Allah or some other God. That's kind of where we're headed. But we sell ourselves out for the dollar.
Some people do.
And I say our politicians, and our politicians are the ones that are making our laws and doing our stuff. And those are the ones that are selling our country for the dollar.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care, because we can talk about gerrymandering all we want, we can complain all we want to, but at the end of the day, nothing's going to change because nobody holds anybody's feet to the fire, ever.
Well, I would say the nobody comment is not true, but you're right that religion has become less of a commonality in the country, but it's also on a resurgence right now.
Yeah,
particularly in the last couple of years. Amongst the youth, and the amount of Bible sales and the amount of people getting into faith has been escalating.
We have more Bible sales because we're building more hotels. They can put a Bible in each hotel.
I don't think that's the case. Yeah.
Well, you know where I'm coming from when I say that. I don't. I mean, if it's true and we saw that, and you saw more youth Bible studies and more of that, then you would see more of a change around the youth. And I mean, there are some. I'm not saying that it's not happening, but not at the rate that it went the other way.
Yeah,
I don't know how quickly it was dissolving, but but it is definitely picking up and coming back, particularly amongst the youth, and that's very encouraging.
Yeah,
that's really encouraging.
Young men specifically.
Yeah, and how is there like a study or a thing that was just done on that to back that up, or is that just a?
I've seen multiple.
Oh no, there's a lot of reports on it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying we do need to turn around and go that way. We need to come back, and we do need to hold these. And I don't think in the old. I just don't think if you're doing something, your feet need to be held in the fire. And if you're under investigation for something that you've done, then guess what? Get the help. Put them aside out of the office, and there's no vote for them. And maybe more cities, more states will be a little more careful on who they vote for to send up to the swamp.
All right.
So, all right. My safe for the day. Have a good one. Hey, did you do your homework? Did you do your homework?
Which homework was that?
See here, your mind is starting to eat more meat. Remember the homework you were going to do? You were going to go and take your key fob and you were going to put it over your phone and see if you could unlock
Haven't done
car.
that yet, but that is going to happen.
Okay.
All right, buddy. Bye-bye.
No wonder OG gets mad with you.
Yeah, there's a real rationale for it right there. All right, man. Take care.
Bye.
Yeah, because I didn't do the key fob trick. And that is interesting. He said that you can, if you don't have your key fob with you, you can call back to your house, whoever's home and has a spare, and they can open the door button on the key fob over the phone, and it'll unlock the door. Now that seems
far-fetched.
Well, it's probably reality, or he wouldn't have said it, but that just seemed odd to me.
Yeah,
that would work, because I didn't know it to be a visual tone. I thought it was.
It's not.
But it may transfer. Yeah. I don't know. He says it will, so I'm going to try it. I haven't done that.
I would
yet.
expect it to be a radio frequency. So.
But it probably goes over the cell phone towers. What he's saying, you can do it over cell phone.
Mm.
Now that would be very helpful in an emergency.
Yeah,
I left my keys in the car. Do you have your key fob with you? Hold it next to your phone and click it.
Yeah,
if that works. I didn't verify that, but Clyde says I don't think he's making it up. As far as religion in the United States, and I just went to the internet real quick, and there's a Gallup poll out there that shows religious affiliations of adults in the United States per the Gallup poll from 2020 to 2024. 44% of the nation is Protestant, 44.8%.
right.
21.8% are Catholic.
Okay.
Other Christians, I don't know what that would be, but it's 2.4.
Okay.
No religion at all, 21.4.
Oh, wow.
That's lower than I thought. I thought the no religion at all was higher. Other religions, 4.1, and other responses, people say, none of your business. The old guy that says, get off my lawn.
Right.
5.6% said, none of your business.
More said they didn't want to say than the other religion.
Well, I don't know what the other religions would be. Muslim and stuff, I guess.
Yeah, you got Hindu.
So we're talking 4%.
Yeah.
Of that, and that was a Gallup poll. That seems awfully low because it seems to have a big footprint on the news, right?
Yeah, I would have thought because I know Muslim people, and to know 1 out of 4% of the country.
Well, 4% is 4 per 100. That's 4 per 100, and so 1,000. That's
it
40.
Feels higher than that though.
10,000. I mean, and what do we have? Like 100,000 in here. So 4% is 4,000. There's a mosque in town.
Yeah,
that's plenty.
Yeah, and I didn't know where he was going with the whole thing about the Muslims holding office. I would resist anybody restricting government office.
And he thinks I'm handcuffed to say that because I'm on. No, I'm not.
No, we shouldn't.
That's what I
and our country was built on Christian foundations.
Sure.
But one of those foundations was you can have whatever religion you want.
Do you know how many Jews are in the entire world?
No,
about 15 million. That's half of them are in Israel.
Yeah. Well, actually, I read more are outside of Israel than are in.
Well, yeah, it's 15 million, about 7 million or so in Israel. So the rest of them are in New York. No. That's not true. Someone went to Florida. No, but no. I mean, the Jewish population in Yuma is very small, but there's at least one synagogue I know.
Well, and then you get into, are they Jewish because of their faith, or Jewish because of their ancestry, and people blur that line all the time. So
but the religious thing is on the uptick. I mean, it's been many reports on it in the last few years,
and that's the nature of things. It's cyclical. People will as a culture, there's a drift away, and then people realize, wow, we have gone too far, and then it drifts back, and then there'll be some extremism on the other side, and then it always drifts, it ebbs and flows, and it's starting to come back here in the country, and the multiple articles I've read reference, especially young men are coming back to the faith, and they're coming back to the faith that are the denominations that are more biblically sound, rather than we got all the woke religions. Oh, everyone's loved, and well, that's just pretending to be Christian. And people are realizing that if you're going to be a Christian, and I saw a clip of somebody interviewing this woman, and she was like, the ones that upset me are the Christians that accept all these people that are that they shouldn't, that the Bible says they shouldn't. If you're going to believe something, believe it.
Well,
and
but that's not.
Yeah.
But a lot of people consider themselves Christian, myself included, years ago. I mean, I consider myself a Christian, but I didn't really know what it meant.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. There's a lot.
I didn't feel. And then, of course, when I gave myself to Christ, then I had to go figure out what it meant.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lifetime of learning.
It absolutely is.
Yeah,
I'm still doing it. Yeah. I was raised by a pastor.
Okay.
And I'm still, so I had it every day of my life growing up, and every time we would talk, everyone says, don't talk about politics and religion. That's all we talked about was politics and religion. Every time we got together,
those subjects are generally forbidden in law households.
Yeah,
it wasn't mine, of course, but that's why I talk about it.
But I'm still getting new insights and new thoughts that I hadn't considered before. And that's one of the best things about going to church is getting an idea. I'm 55 years old. You would think I heard it all, but there's a new idea comes in all the time. So
shut up.
It never ends.
We'll be right back. AM 560.
Mostly sunny at 68 today, cloudy with periods of rain after midnight tonight with 54. Steady rain on Friday, possibly heavy at times with a high of 58. Rain on Friday night, 54 the low. Showers on Saturday with a high of 62, and then 50 and partly cloudy on Saturday night.
This Thanksgiving, as you gather with family and friends, take a moment to be thankful for the place you call home. At Dreamlux Remodeling, we believe your home should be as warm and welcoming as the season itself. From luxury grout-free showers to energy-efficient windows and doors, we make upgrading your home exciting, not stressful. Call Dreamlux at 928-236-5694 or visit dreamlux.us to schedule your free consultation and make your home shine this holiday season. Dreamlux, affordable, local, luxurious.
Allo Fiber's got the real deal. Check this out right now. Switch, stack, and save, combining Allo Internet, DirecTV, and mobile, and lock in your price for 2 years. 2 years of premium service with no surprises. Check it out at allofiber.com/stack.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63 out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife, and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/Mike.
Today, we're talking with aphids and whiteflies about Safina insecticide from BASF. We just got nailed with it. So tell us, how you feeling?
Really, really weird.
And you still want to devour this field?
No way,
bro. There you have it, folks. Safina insecticide is specifically engineered to disorient aphids and whiteflies so they can't eat. And when they can't eat, they can't destroy.
They'll protect your alfalfa from aphids with Safina insecticide. Always read and follow label directions.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Do you have a history of those dreadful calcium oxalate stones? Well, Kidney Cop is here to help. Shown in laboratory testing to reduce the rate of calcium oxalate crystal growth by 99%. Yes, 99%. Don't wait. Start taking Kidney Cop Calcium Oxalate Protector today. That's Kidney Cop, C-O-P, Kidney Cop. Order today at Amazon.com, Walmart.com, or KidneyCop.com. That's Amazon, Walmart, or KidneyCop.com.
History shows that every market fails, every currency collapses, and today, the dollar is shrinking. Trillions in national debt, record high markets defying gravity, but stocks can't go up forever. Meanwhile, groceries, housing, and transportation costs are rising, and your dollar, it buys less every day. So when the crash hits, your stocks won't save you. Dollars won't either. But one thing will: gold. Gold has always survived. That's why central banks are buying gold by the ton and billionaires are stocking up. And every day, Americans are protecting their savings and retirement with physical gold. Don't wait for the headlines. When the panic starts, it's too late. Call Lear Capital now at 800-889-3070 to get your free gold investment kit and protect your wealth with real physical gold. With over $8 billion in trusted transactions and thousands of 5-star reviews, Lear is your trusted source. Call now and also get up to $15,000 in bonus gold with a qualified purchase. Call 800-889-3070. That's 800-889-3070.
There's a man in D.C. He stands
AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark with you. Chris is here. He's wondering about the star. It's a local artist who wrote this Trump train.
He's fighting for me.
And because I'm on back on YouTube, because something happened with that company, where they realized like everybody's getting sued and all that kind of stuff, that they took a lot of us that were life bans and put us back on, because they were banning people like crazy a few years ago. Like when I got caught up, there were 1,500 of us that were doing small time radio.
Okay.
That got caught up in it. Lifetime bans. Katie Hobbs put my name in to Merrick.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I got a call from DC when it happened. They said, "Do you know what Katie Hobbs?" I said, "Katie Hobbs?" And I think she was Secretary of State at the time. And I said, "Katie Hobbs?" I said, "Yeah, she put your name in to be banned. So watch out, you're done." I said, "Well, on what?" And they permanently banned me for life from YouTube.
Well, if Katie Hobbs wants you banned, you're probably doing something right.
I did something right. Let's take, but I'm back on now. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Russ. How we doing?
We're doing well, Carl. Good morning, sir.
Gil was talking about people not doing more work. Well, I'm going to talk about two people that really did a fine job for our Republican Party. First one was the chairman of our Republican Party, Greg Wilkinson.
Yeah.
Look how much he has helped drive the Republican Party in Yuma.
And he's still showing up, man.
Yeah,
even
he's
though
still
he's
part of it.
Yeah.
He's retired and stuff. He's still an influence for sure.
He was huge.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the next one is David Laura.
You're going to get some controversy there, but I'm going to agree with you.
well, what happened was we the people, because it took us 24 years
to
put that man in office so we could find out how crooked our election was, or if it was, or have an audit. And what did our county supervisors do? They took it away from him. So that to me really didn't smell too good. And I think, I think we should find out why they took it away from him.
Well, yeah, those are great questions, and they need to be asked. But we all know why, so I don't bother asking. But whatever.
They gave a reason. I'm not sure it was the reason.
They didn't like David. They were only going to do it if David was elected. Okay.
Well, they don't work for David. They work for us.
Right, but they have control over certain functions, and that's part of their control. And
that's true. But we the people went and said, "Hey, we want to take a look at the books." And then the supervisors come back and said, "Well, we work for you guys, but you ain't looking at the books."
Well, then challenge the supervisors. But David's still doing research. That didn't stop him.
He's doing his job.
Yeah.
No, you know what we're doing to David? We're keeping his feet to the fire, and he's doing it. So that's exactly what's happening.
It'd be hard to keep him from doing it anyway. So.
Yeah, I know. But well, David told me to keep his feet to the fire. That's why. Well, he did. He said, "Well, there's a man that wants to find out what the heck is going on." And then for 24 years he tried to do it, and then when he gets there, then now we got to start dealing with people in the government saying, "Well, you can't look at the book."
Oh, he's still looking, buddy. He's still doing it. They just didn't let him be in charge of voting, but that's okay. We'll be all right.
Well, Well, that's one of the biggest reasons we put him in there to look at the voting.
Yeah,
Well, he's still looking.
Well, yeah, but they're still stopping too, aren't they?
He's not in charge.
No.
Yep.
That's right.
But
Is that called still stopping?
But he's part of the program. No.
Yeah. So our part of the program is to make sure they don't stop him from looking.
He doesn't. They don't. He'd be screaming. He'd be in here talking about it.
That's
well,
a big part of his new job.
So, and I'm also going to agree with Ted on something. As far as what I can see, the Democrats are like a bunch of ticks on a dog.
Uh-oh.
Well, what they're doing is, on a capitalist society, they are just sucking the blood out of it and not helping.
Yeah.
And it went so far that now we're educating people in other countries, and you and I get to pay for it.
Well, Trump cut some of that out too.
Yeah.
We're not educating on LGBTQ anymore, so that's all right.
So should I be mad at him over that?
At Trump? No.
Yeah, well, people are.
Yeah.
He does something for we the people.
Yeah.
And then someone get mad at him.
Oh, well, because they have their own agenda, and Trump is a disruptor to that agenda of chaos and harm. But I understand it. I do understand it. They want to cause chaos and stuff and secrecy. Trump is more transparent, man. It's out there.
Yeah. Well, so is Greg Wilkinson. So is David Lawrence. So is a lot of people who are saying, "Hey, we want to take a look at the books." And that's what should be happening. And that's what Trump did. He said, "Okay, guys, now I'm the boss. Let's look at the books."
We're finding out more things about the books every day. Like when Snap got canceled, everybody, they said, well, that took 42 million people off the rolls. People go, what? There's 42 million?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're saying. We're $42 million to feed people.
Yeah, a lot.
But how much of that 42 million feeds people? And how much of that 42 million sticks in somebody's pocket?
Well, and that's and they know there's a lot of fraud in Snap.
Yeah.
And it came to light because of the government shutdown, and now there's efforts to clean it up because there's people on Snap that passed away, a lot of them, and the families keep taking it. So they're going after it now. But nobody was doing their job. Nobody was cleaning it up.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only agents that really work real hard is the ones that collect our taxes. They make sure. The rest of them,
they're good. They're good at that.
Yeah. But anyway, that's my 2 cents.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you. All right. Bye, Carl.
Yeah, and that seems to be a bit of a trend in the government is the plenty of people dispersing the money, but not a whole lot of people watching that, looking out for the fraud.
Enough. We got too much of it.
Yeah.
I looked at the religious breakdown in the U.S., which was surprising.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's always talk of Europe. Europe has lost its way on religion,
Right.
and they're less religious than we are. So I got their breakdown. Christians, and they just lumped Catholics, Protestants, everything together. Just total Christians, 31%.
Wow.
That's
low.
It's real low because we had 21% Catholics only and 42% of Protestants. So we're well over between 60 and 70%.
Well, and then we had then you had the other Christians,
which
that
is
we
only
didn't recognize.
2%. I don't know what that is. A snake charmers or something. I don't know. Maybe that's the Mormons. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not. I didn't.
It depends on how they defined it.
The Jews in Europe, 0.2%. I mean, there's not a lot of Jews on the planet. Muslims, 24.1%.
Wow.
In Europe. And for the United States, we had other religions as less than 4.
Yeah.
Now, Hindus, 15%.
Huh.
Unaffiliated, 16%. We had 21. They have 16%. But you look between the Muslims and the Hindus, that's like 40%.
Right.
And we had our other religions at 4%. Buddhist at 6.9%.
There's enough to have their own
folk religions. I don't know what that is.
Wiccan.
And they sing with guitars around campfires.
I don't
know. 5.7%.
Wow.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't either.
I'm not going to research it beyond this.
No.
I'm just telling you the numbers.
Well, I did not. I knew that it was less prominent to be Christian in Europe, but I didn't know it was that.
Right.
That's huge.
And they put it in billions. They put the billions of people. Christians is 2.3 billion in Europe. Muslims is 1.8 billion in Europe.
Wow.
Unaffiliated 1.2, and then the Hindus at 1.1 billion. The Jews are 0.01 billion. And you're amazing, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't fit in my what I had envisioned.
Right.
I thought it'd be in the United States or Europe. Like Clyde, I got the impression the Muslim population would be higher.
Yeah, so would I.
It's not, but they're very vocal and very.
Yeah, it's higher in Europe than I thought it would be.
I knew they had a problem in Europe.
Well, I wouldn't call it a problem.
Well, I do, because they do. I mean, like France and stuff. They opened their borders to a lot of Muslim communities, but they didn't integrate with them. I mean, France didn't even have a program integrating, and it became a problem because they started living independently from the rest of France, and that creates division and a lot of problems. And a lot of people won't do that in this country. Is set up separate. And
and that has never worked, and it was happening like in New York where you'd have.
We all need to be Americans, whether you're a minority or minority religion, doesn't matter. Be Americans, and that was always, the program is once you got into the countries, become acclimated and all that to, American ways. Doesn't mean you give up your values. It just means you work within, what's here,
and it happens. Because people want to live by people that know, that are similar. We got
it's okay.
Chinatown and
those are all fun.
San Luis.
Chinatown is an American town.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah, and they're Americans.
Keep the culture alive. That's fine.
But
that doesn't mean you separate yourself completely.
That's the issue.
And from what I've read and seen, that's more like what France did, and they live by different rules and things. And
we had that problem with the fundamentalists in Utah that isolated themselves and cut everybody out and wouldn't interact with the rest of the world, and bad things happen when you do that. Yeah.
Well, you got the Amish and Mennonites on the East Coast. They live totally separate, but they interact also. They have businesses.
You can get their furniture in California. They'll ship it across the country.
But they don't have electricity in their house.
Yeah.
But the government says you must run electrical wires and have a box, which they do when they build a house. They have to build it to code.
I didn't know that.
Code says you have electrical, and they do. They just never put a meter on it. Never put a meter on it.
Huh? I did not know that.
Yeah. So they do all that, but they live within.
And they put the little signs on their buggies. And
they do, and they have to have headlights and taillights on the buggy. Yeah, their buggies have stoplights and high beams. I found out because I didn't turn my high beams off once. Yeah, they flashed me. Horse and buggy flashed me.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was. It was like it was a surprise. Yeah, it reminded me not to be a rude driver. It's a top of the hour, man. I'll be back. It is 7:00 AM 560.
There's a man in D.C. He stands 6'3". He's fighting for you. He's fighting for me. He'll bring that old song, just like he said. He'll make.
This is News Talk 560 KBLU. This is a Fox News alert. A surge in high. I'm Dave Anthony. It is that an news report delayed government shutdown and much better than expected for September.
Coming in at
This hour, Cassoni.
The unemployment rate 4.4%. The estimate was 4.3.
We won't get an unemployment rate for October, though. That data wasn't collected during the shutdown, but hiring was. So the jobs numbers then will be added to the ones created this month and released in a report in the middle of December. One other related story, Verizon is going to cut a lot of jobs, planning to lay off 13,000 plus workers. Back to the shutdown, a Fox News poll has President Trump's approval rating falling to 41%, while more than 6 in 10 disapprove of Republicans and Democrats in Congress. And more than half of the surveyed are worried about the economy and inflation. President Trump has signed the Epstein files resolution,
accusing Democrats of sitting on these files for years. This is what he posted on Truth Social. Do not forget the Biden administration did not turn over a single file or page related to Democrat Epstein, nor did they ever even speak about it. Democrats have used the Epstein issue, which affects them far more than the Republican Party, in order to try to distract from our amazing victory.
Fox's Doug Lewis said the resolution compels the Justice Department to release files from the Epstein underage girls sex trafficking scheme, though some documents might be held back as the investigation continues. Here's Attorney General Pam Bondi.
There's information, new information, additional information, and again, we will continue to follow the law, to investigate any leads. If there are any victims, we encourage all victims to come forward.
Washington National Cathedral will fill up soon for a funeral this morning for former Vice President Dick Cheney, who died earlier this month at age 84. Former President George W. Bush will speak, paying tribute to his VP. Former President Biden will also attend, along with ex-Vice Presidents. President Trump will not be there. Americans listening to Fox News. Julia owed the IRS thousands.
I was paralyzed with fear.
Then
I heard a commercial for Optima Tax Relief.
Optima Tax Relief is the leading tax resolution firm, A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and experts in the Fresh Start Initiative.
Optima Tax Relief settled my IRS tax bill.
Call Optima now for a free consultation.
It was amazing.
Call 800-926-0155. 800-926-0155. Optima Tax Relief. Visit OptimaTaxRelief.com for details. So Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $29.95 a month for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This top-tier plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you'll save over 50% every month for the rest of your life. You might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Just dial pound 250, say micro. Offer expires 12/7. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
Good morning from the News 11 Information Desk. I'm Danielle Burke-Moore. A local nonprofit is short on their goal to feed the U.S. community for the upcoming holidays. Crossroads Mission's goal was to collect 1,000 turkeys for last week's turkey drive, but fell short. Their goal is to raise $100,000 and 100,000 pounds of food to its mission month to feed people in need during the holidays. If you'd like to donate, you can bring turkeys and any food items to Crossroads Mission. Plus, help us feed local veterans. The turkey drive for veterans is today at the Foothills Walmart from noon to 8 p.m. All turkeys collected will go to veteran organizations in Yuma County. You can also donate gift cards in any amount that will go towards the purchase of items for Thanksgiving meals. Join us on the TV site at News 11 every weekday at 5, 6, and 10 for all of your local news, weather, and sports. I'm Danielle Burke-Norris.
The strength to face life's challenges is easy to find with the right support. That's why Onvita Health is expanding access to behavioral health care. More psychiatrists, new in-person care, intensive outpatient therapy. Because when care is within reach, brighter days are just ahead. Here's to better tomorrow. Here's to life. Learn more at onvitahealth.org/behavioral health.
AM 560 KBLU, Russ Clark with you. I didn't know what you were saying. I thought you were stations playing. No, it was the wrong song.
Yeah.
I got you. Thank you.
You're breaking the law.
I'll probably get a letter about that. And the reason I'm trying not to play a copyrighted song, because I'm definitely on social media and YouTube and all that stuff, and they're going to frown on it.
Yeah, I posted something. I made a video and I had the music playing on my radio in the background, and I wasn't even thinking about it at the time, but I made the video and I posted it on YouTube. It was just for basically family and friends, and I got the email from YouTube. There may be copyrighted uh, song in your video. I was like, I didn't do a song. It was just me talking, but it was in the background and they picked it up.
I do have a listener on YouTube right now that asked me the question, do you monitor YouTube chat? Well, the fact that I'm telling you that I monitor it means that I saw your chat.
Yes, I do.
I saw your chat. I can't answer it from my programming. I've got a program called StreamYard, I think is what it is. Yeah, StreamYard. That will take my feed and send it to different locations.
Oh, okay.
So it goes to X, it goes to YouTube, it goes to Facebook.
Oh, and then
And I can
consolidate all your.
I can read the
comments?
chats back. I think I don't know if I can on X, but I know on YouTube and Facebook, I'll get chats and recommendations that pop up on the screen, and I can't answer them, uh, digitally, but I can talk about you.
So yes, you are monitoring.
I do get that, and I do periodically check my phone chat.
Yeah,
whatever.
You're looking at everything while you're
Because Melanie's asking me what happened to "You Talk Too Much" song. Do I have to give it up? Yes, I do have to give it up, because when I was told by YouTube that they welcome me back, because they wrote a note to me, or they wrote me an email, says, after the research, they found out I did not violate their rules.
Yeah, it'd been nice to have done that.
That took
research
3 or
before.
4 years, and I sent them some appeals a few times, which they never answered any
All right.
appeals. And they tell you when you do an appeal, there's an appeal process. You say, you can appeal, but we may not answer you. Well, I would send that may not answer to the we don't answer until years later.
Right.
Something happened, I'm sure, with a lawsuit or threat of a lawsuit, and seeing what's going on with CBS and everybody that's been funding the library for Donald Trump. That's where the money's going that he wins
Right.
in these lawsuits. That they realized that they were specifically picking out conservative radio talk show hosts, banning them for life.
And as a private company,
Yeah,
they can do whatever they want.
they can.
But it does seem wrong for them to do that.
Well-
Now, it's a communication opportunity platform. People should be able to communicate.
If they do it to cause harm and stuff like that, they can be sued, and Trump
Yeah.
has proven that. And that's what they're afraid of, because they're not open at that point. And they say you violated rules,
Right.
but we won't tell you what they are. That way you can't complain that I didn't break a rule.
Right.
They never told me. But I do know that copyright now, although I'm allowed to play because I really am a radio station.
Correct.
We really do pay royalties for these songs. But when I'm on social media, they don't necessarily understand that or have documentation.
Well, yeah, they don't. They're not expecting that. That's not their norm.
Yeah.
They expect you to just be a content creator.
Yeah, and if you're a radio station, I don't know that you can go on YouTube and just play your radio station. I doubt it. Probably not.
Yeah, and then it's bound to be in the licensing that the radio station has. That,
Yeah.
How you?
Because you're not going to play music.
broadcast,
Yeah, I think that would be something you can't do anyway. But you can buy copyright on certain songs and play them, and you register that with YouTube or whatever.
Right.
You can do that some way. I read about it. I didn't pursue it. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Ted again.
Hey,
Hey.
Ted.
So you don't violate any copyright. Why don't you just play the Pledge of Allegiance to the United States of America every morning?
That's not
That would make
copyrighted.
me very happy. Yeah, that would make me very happy.
Well, now I'm
Don't you
not going to
make
do
me
it. Yeah, Rush. When Rush Limbaugh, it was AM 560 does that every day at noon or something. Sings has God Bless
it-
America or something.
One of the other stations does that at 7 in the morning every day. I forget.
Yeah.
I've never heard it on this station, and I listen to it 24/7.
I think it's KTTI does it.
I thought it was AM 560. They used to. Maybe it was Rush Limbaugh did it. I don't remember. Been a while, but it used to be on a regular basis. I'll have to figure that out.
They do.
I'll see if I can find something, some Pledge of Allegiance, or maybe we'll just say it together.
I pledge allegiance to this. You know how it goes.
Yeah. Yes,
Say it.
we've done it more than once, my friend. We do it more than once. All right, man.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
All right, bye-bye. Yeah, my YouTube listener says that I like Sandy. Hope she calls in. She does. She does call in on occasion, Sandy.
Speaking of the Pledge of Allegiance, everyone says it in the public schools every day, so people know it. But
do they still?
Homeschoolers, they homeschoolers. Not all the homeschoolers are getting it every day, and so we do actually have a small group of people in the country that just don't know the Pledge of Allegiance because they don't say it every day.
The homeschooler group, I know they would do it.
Yeah,
sure, quite sure.
The majority of them are tend to be quite committed to the country and patriotic. But some of them are just like, well, you got to do your math, your English, and that's not on the list, so they don't. Do that.
Trump says he's going to meet Mandani today.
Yeah,
or not Friday. I think Friday. Yeah, Friday. The Oval Office. Good, bring right to the Oval Office, and it was Mandani that asked for the meeting. Smart,
right?
Because he's way over his head.
Well, if you can,
according to a lot of things I've read,
if you have a reason to be able to request a meeting with the president,
I could request.
I would love that. Yeah.
Well, I don't know that I'd get the same response. Let's say a phone call. You're on the air.
Hello.
Good morning.
Manuel, the road inspector. Hey, they finally heard me. I guess they patched the holes on the turnpike going west.
No.
Yeah, they did. They patched them. They didn't do it refer to the whole field. They just patched the big holes.
Wow. But they must have listened to you.
I guess so.
Well, that's disappointing, because I sell front end realignments and stuff,
That's true. You throw nails in the street so they get flat, right?
Right, yeah. No, we appreciate the roads that are being repaired. We really do.
Yes.
I joke about that, but no, it's. I don't pay the city to not repair roads. I don't do that.
I know. Well, they'll run those hot rolls will ruin your shocks.
They wear everything
work.
out. Yes, ball joints, tie rod ends, everything gets worn from those impacts and shocks and tires, the whole bit.
Yeah.
It costs a lot of repairs because the roads aren't repaired. That's like a hidden tax.
Yeah.
I started working at Firestone. My uncle was a front aligner and balance the trucks. Align them.
Yeah.
Right.
And he started in 58. I used to bring his tools and put them in the boxes. Every Saturday and Sunday, I could go Saturday and Sunday. So I learned mechanic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can do a front end alignment with some knowledgeable people and a piece of string. You can do that.
Well,
but a good front.
The big trucks.
Yeah.
You draw a line with the can of paint, white in the center, and then you get a marker and you turn the wheel and they'll get the center, and you do it on the other side. So when you do your alignment, toe in, toe out, you put the either way, you put it from the inside your tape and you get the right size, and you go around and get on the front, and you'll get at the top, they'll tell you right away how many.
That's old school stuff.
That's old school. That's old school. He taught me how to align them.
But I tell you, the alignment machines, a good alignment machine is $80,000 to $100,000, and that's for automotive, not for big truck. Big truck, it's more.
Well, he used to do it the hard way, but they bought him a Bear. I don't know. It was a Bear. The first alignment that came out that had the light, and you had to put light. And he taught me how to do alignment. I do all that.
Yeah.
Do the boy joint, bushing, tie rod, and all that. Right. So I'm good at everything.
All right, man. I appreciate the call, buddy. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll need it. We got a alignment machine that they become so sophisticated, and the computer in ours will measure the car and everything. We set it all up and measures it. And they'll tell you if it's been raised or not raised and how to compensate the alignment.
Oh.
Because now it's 3 inches taller than the manufacturer suggested, and how to adjust for that and everything. And but they're expensive, man. I mean,
I'm sure.
to get stuff like that. And then, but it's so precise, and you want to save your tires because you can get a set of tires that guaranteed for 40,000 miles, and you can wear them out much quicker than that if your alignment's off.
Yeah, I had my first car. I didn't understand anything about any of that. And,
Yeah.
I would always get the cheap tires, and they'd bubble up. And I realized, I'm spending more time and money getting them replaced than just getting good tires to begin with. But that was also one of the issues, was it was always wearing on one side because they weren't aligned properly. And
tires would have lasted longer
Yeah.
had you had the alignments done. And
the guys are like, you need an alignment. I don't know. I didn't want to ask. I don't know what that is.
But you get people to come in to get an alignment on a car, just and you can't align it because the parts are so wore out. When you have worn ball joints and tie rod ends, I mean, we can't align it because that tire's kind of moving around on its own. It's just not locked in one place. It's kind of flexible.
It's going where it wants to.
It goes where it wants to go. So but you're going to burn up tires doing that stuff, and they're going to wear prematurely. It's not safe. You don't want to.
Yeah.
Eventually, those things even break.
The parts inside?
Well, the things that hold it all together.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, they break tire
Never
flies
gotten
off.
it that bad.
Oh, you can have a tire fly off.
I have seen video of that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It can get to that point. But you have to go pretty far. You're going to start having tires fly off. I mean, they can fly off also because you didn't tighten the bolts that hold the tire on.
I was changing, we were traveling and came across this woman with a flat tire. And so, my son and I would get out and we were helping her change the tire. I get all the lug nuts off and the tire won't come off. I'm like, there's nothing else holding this tire on. I'm yanking on it. Nothing's happening. And so I called my brother. I was like, I don't know what else to do. I was like, I got all the lug nuts up. It won't come off. He says, kick it.
Big hammer, I was saying.
Okay. He says, sometimes they'll rust onto the mount.
Yeah, it can.
And you just got to give them a good kick. So I gave it a good kick and poof, it popped right off.
There you go.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, they'll be on there.
But you're talking about you can't, it can fly off if you don't have the lug nuts on right away, but it can also not come off if you haven't been taking care of it too.
So make sure you get somebody competent that's doing all that work.
Yeah, I've been going to discount for decades. And I love them. I always get great service.
And you keep going.
My wife goes to Sam's Club. She gets good service from them. So,
as long as you do, but we
Ed Whitehead does a great job.
We know of places that have done criminal stuff.
Yeah. Well, and there's a little place on Avenue B. Doesn't look like much. It's just basically an awning,
like a used tire place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he sells new stuff too. But I needed something at the last minute. Went into him.
Yeah.
Talked to him.
Very nice people.
He knew exactly what he was doing. He took care of me.
That's why he's still in business.
Yeah. He's been there for
we have because we do change tires a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of people. I mean, there's at least one I know of that comes in now that is a used tire guy, and he wants to go through our scraps. Because a lot of people change a tire that may have a little life. If you're really desperate for just something with air in it, that's not dangerous.
Right.
A lot of people change them out before they get to that point, and but it's good for someone else just to get back for it to work for a while. There's people specialize in that kind of stuff. We don't. I want to see people on new tires,
right?
Preferably.
But there's people that I just can't afford a new tire, but I need a tire. Those used tires are valuable.
That exists.
Yeah.
Start talking about Mandani. He's going to be in the Oval Office on Friday. Trump put out on his social media, he says, Communist Mayor of New York City, Zoran Kwame Mandani, has asked me for a meeting. We have agreed that this meeting will take place at the Oval Office on Friday, November 21st. Further details to follow.
And normally when a Republican is saying that communist, but he calls himself the communist. That's not an insult.
That's a self-imposed term. Yes, it is. And now, I'm sure it'd be an interesting conversation. There might be some cameras in there. Who knows?
Oh, there's definitely going to be
you never
cameras
know.
in there, yeah.
Mandani proposed, during his campaign, he proposed free bus service, which the governor's already said no, because that's a state-funded thing, I think.
Is it?
Yeah, and they make money on it. State does. I mean, you go
Well,
put your
if New York,
$2 in to get on the bus, that's going to the state funds.
if New York City wants to pay for it, the state shouldn't care where the money comes from.
No, but he does not have that kind of cash. He wants to have city-owned grocery stores, and that's been tried in some places, and some places have done that, and it generally doesn't work well.
I never even heard of that idea. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, what he wants to do is have city-owned grocery stores and sell at wholesale. In other words, if he buys bread for $1 a loaf, he's going to sell it to you for $1 a loaf. Now, where's the profit in that?
Right.
There is none. But keep in mind that if he does it as a straight pass-through, that means that the city taxes
are paying for
the electric bill.
Right.
They're going to pay for the employees. They're going to pay for everything else. It's going to be a big burden to the city.
And people get all hung up on the rich people are just getting richer. Like Walmart, they make so much money.
I want
but
rich people to get richer.
The amount of money that ends up floating to the top to those rich people that are getting richer. If you took that away, it would equate to like maybe a cent on each product.
Yeah, it's not.
It doesn't. It's not a massive margin of money going up to the top.
I read an article the other day that calculated that if you took all the billionaires in the United States, 100% of them, and took 100% of their money, you could pay everybody off right now. For their losses and all that kind of stuff for the year, and feed them and all that. Then next year, there's no place to go.
I think I was telling you that.
Is that you?
Yeah.
Nope, no place to go.
The top 1%, the amount of money that they have would be like $40,000 for everybody in the country.
Yeah, which would be wonderful. I'd love $40,000.
Yeah,
but it'd be gone in a year.
But their businesses,
and then next year there's no billionaires to tap.
Right,
they're gone. We've depleted them. They're in the food lines with us.
They'd be getting snapped.
And the thing about wealth, the left looks at wealth as a finite resource that needs to be distributed. But wealth is actually created.
Right.
You create wealth.
Yeah. I do think that there's an extreme situation going on right now with so much wealth being consolidated in so few people. I don't think wealth redistribution is the answer.
It's not.
But it is causing an us versus them mentality.
That us versus them is artificial because it's done by politicians and stuff that complain about it. At one time, it used to be
regular people. I think we have that idea too.
Well, where do they get it from?
Just
social media, from watching news.
They're
and
on,
everything else.
They're on Snap, and that guy has 1,000 houses.
No, it's not that. It's absolutely marketing. And the marketing is in the form of all the news reporters talking about evil, wealthy people, which didn't used to happen.
Well, we can't really blame the media too much
anymore
because people aren't watching the media.
Oh, well, not as many.
Not the mainstream.
Not
media.
as many. But the people that are complaining are, they are. But we didn't used to do that. We used to look at the house on the hill and say, you work hard someday, you could have that.
Yeah.
Now we look at that rich son of a gun, and I hate him, and he's taking our money. It's not your money. It's created. And you can go create some if you want.
Yeah. And that, I think, is a good way to deal with the situation, is to get more entrepreneurship in our school systems and the idea in our society in general. You can, people talk about a side hustle. Turn that side hustle into a real business that generates income for you, creates jobs for your neighbors, and drives an industry.
But there's more negative thrown at Elon Musk than criminals that steal your assets. We feel sorry for them because they had a bad childhood.
You can't say anything bad about you.
The guy steals your car and everything. Well, you had a bad childhood and all that. They feel more empathy for that guy than Elon Musk that made you a car. Which is really weird.
Right.
But that's what we become, and I just think it's a misinformation thing that people don't understand. Look, when the country was formed, look at the amount of cash available. If we took everybody's cash, it wouldn't add up to what we have in the state of Arizona.
Right.
It wouldn't add up to that. So where did it all come from? It was created. It was just created. And it's created through hard work and ingenuity, performing miracles like turning dirt into beer cans, all those kind of things that create wealth and assets. An asset is a car, a building, all those things. You build a building, there's an asset created, and that's where the wealth of the country. If you look at all the assets, keeps growing and growing and growing. We got so many airplanes and all that stuff. It's all created, and we look at it like it's finite, and we have to redistribute it.
Right.
It's not the case.
Well, and that's what I was saying. If you did redistribute all that money across the country, like you were saying, next year there wouldn't be businesses. There wouldn't be any of the infrastructure that we rely on.
And if you have socialists like Mandani that says, "Look, we have plenty of money. We're only taking 50% of what rich people have, their income every year, and that's federal, state, everything all combined, probably is around 50%. And in some places like California, it's more than 50%. But if we took 80%, we'd be better off." Well, those guys move.
Yeah.
And then you don't have anybody to take 80% from.
Right.
Even if you're not taking it all, you say, well, we'll just hammer them harder. And while we're giving money to these guys over here, because they don't work and create wealth, you're creating wealth. So give it to those that don't work and don't create wealth.
Right.
And eventually, New York becomes nothing but people on the take and no givers. Where does that go? Oh, do
you have a guess?
Yeah, Richard Sprague.
Oh, hey.
Let me take a break, and we'll be right back. AM 560.
Allo Fibers teamed up with DirecTV and launched Allo Mobile. This product combination means internet you can count on, streaming TV you can watch anytime and anywhere, and nationwide coverage on your mobile plan that you can depend on. It's real service, and it comes with real savings because now you can switch, stack, and save and get all three of those services at one affordable price. A savings you won't want to miss. Switch, stack, and save at allofiber.com/stack.
Unique individuals, empowering solutions.
The cost of cleaning supplies to clean your office building, $250. The time it takes to dust all offices, sweep walkways, vacuum the carpets, and sanitize the restrooms, 4 hours. Having Achieve Human Services clean your entire office building, including the restrooms, priceless. Achieve Human Services, helping people with unique abilities to realize their greatest potential through employment opportunities. For more information, call Achieve Human Services at 928-341-0335. That's 928-341-0335.
Unique individuals, empowering solutions.
AM 16 value. This is here.
I'm here.
Yeah, he's going to share my mic a bit, but I don't have my guest is going to be Richard is on his way. Richard Sprague, and we're going to talk about food drives and stuff. So we'll have a couple coming in. See, Andy. I don't know. Is Andy from the food bank?
I don't know.
I know the food bank is going to be part of the program. We'll talk about that.
About 5 minutes out, I'm told.
When it comes up. Let me see. Mandani, we just finish up about him. He's been bringing a lot of people on that that he wants to support and put on his helpers and all that.
Right.
Very devoted anti-capitalist.
But, that's what you do.
It's going to be
You get into that position, you bring in your sycophants.
But if he wants to talk to Trump, who is very much capitalist, and then he wants to meet with J.P. Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon, which is a titan on Wall Street.
Well, he's got to find a way to make his money. So.
Well, yeah, and he may do it in Dallas. He's trying to brace for a new era of progressive leadership at City Hall. Like, just get used to it, Dimon. He had said he would support Mandam if he won the seat. Now the CEO did of Chase.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but what does his stockholders say?
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. But yeah, support him. But maybe the business doesn't. Who knows? I don't know. We'll find out. Uh, he also warned that Mandami's financial plan would destroy jobs and cause businesses and wealthy taxpayers to leave New York.
Yeah, and we've seen what communism does in countries all over the place.
Yeah.
Why does anyone think it's a good idea?
And
On paper, it sounds great,
Yeah.
but it doesn't work.
I don't even think on paper it does, maybe because I know what it really means. But it particularly can't work if you're just a communist city and surrounded by capitalist everything, because nobody has to stay there. I mean, if you're in the middle of Russia, you live in Moscow, you can't go to a neighboring city.
It's all
because they're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
They're in line for Porsche.
Yeah, I don't understand the movement at all.
Well, it takes away all decisions. You don't have to decide anything. The city or the state decides it for you.
Yeah. But that could happen with socialism even.
Well, yeah, exactly. It can.
You know, and going all the way to communism is
It's just another step.
Yeah.
I mean, that just means more, I guess, more government direction.
Socialism at
But
least
always,
allows some people to make
does it always evolve into dictatorship where there's a central figure that just runs everything and then declares himself president for life?
That's what has happened, yeah. Even though the whole idea behind communism is
It
no
happens in
leadership.
North Korea and Russia, China.
Koreans aren't.
North Korea.
North Korea, okay.
Yeah, North Korea. Kim Jong-un.
Yeah.
It just evolves into
like Cuba and
even Russia. You know, Putin kept writing new rules that he's for life.
Right.
You know? And he'll probably stay there till he falls out a window. We're not going to need those headsets.
Oh, yeah,
They're not all
yeah.
plugged in anyway. They don't want to do that anyway. Do you know who Raphael Warnock is? Democrat out of Georgia, Senator Raphael Warnock. His name comes up occasionally. He's really anti-Second Amendment kind of guy.
Okay.
Richard's probably not his friend. Richard sells guns, spraying sports.
Well, I'm sure he'd be friends with somebody that didn't like him.
Of course, he's a friendly guy.
Disagree with
There's
him,
no
but-
question. Well, there's some news coming out on him that he spent $360,000 on security services from executive protection agencies, and from there in Atlanta, in just the last 9 months.
Okay.
Because he's anti-gun, but as long as his security will have him, he's fine.
Well, and I've heard of people, that guns should be for a purpose, not for just anybody.
Well, it is a purpose. For me, it's
I agree.
self-defense.
Yeah.
For him, it's self-defense. He just hires people to do it for him.
Right.
We all can't do that, Warnock.
Well,
I can't shell out $360,000 for a guy to stand next to me with a gun.
Right. I can just have my own gun.
Yeah, just practice. The security firm's website says he uses armed services to provide protection for political figures. Warnock's campaign spent $2.7 million on private security. If you go back to 2020 on, since 2020 to now, 2.7 million, just his campaign. Why?
Does he feel threatened?
I guess so. I mean, we look at things like Donald Trump got shot,
right?
And of course, Charlie Kirk got shot and stuff like that. We know threats are real.
Yeah.
I don't know that a Democratic senator is on that list, but I don't know.
And even those two situations you mentioned would not be helped by a security team walking next to you with obviously, because both of them had security. And
but Trump had dwarfs. I mean, he had well-protected legs.
That's a whole other conversation. But the idea of somebody getting up close to you and shooting is a totally different scenario that it just doesn't happen on a general regular basis.
Hey, I got the guys here now. Let me take a quick break and we'll be right back. AM 560.
Mostly sunny and 68 today. Cloudy with periods of rain after midnight tonight with 54. Steady rain on Friday, possibly heavy at times with a high of 58. Rain on Friday night, 54 the low. Showers on Saturday with a high of 62. And then 50 and partly cloudy on Saturday night.
What's up, Yuma, and hello, Russ Clark Show listeners. Johnny Porter here, and I just made the switch to Allo Fiber, and it's a game changer. Lightning fast speeds for streaming, working from home, and gaming. No buffering or slowed down speeds. It's time to ditch the glitch and switch to Allo Fiber.
The air is crisp. The sky is clear. It's the best riding weather of the year. Before the holidays and family commitments take over, make sure you carve out some time for yourself and the open road. Bobby's Territorial Harley-Davidson has the latest motorcycles ready to roll. The accessories and gear you need to maximize your ride time, plus clothing, collectibles, and housewares that will make any Harley enthusiast's heart rev. Whether you're ready to upgrade or just need the latest performance gear to keep you in comfort, they have everything you need. Don't let the season pass you by. Visit Bobby's Territorial Harley-Davidson today on East Keeler Ridge Road in Yuma.
We're the comfort experts, people you can trust. Ask our customers. That's why they count on us. Over 50 years of service, keep us going strong. We've got a name you can depend upon. Hansberger Refrigeration and Electric. Hansberger, count on us.
It's pajama time, Yuma. Join Eldorado Broadcasters and Avenir Financial for DJs for PJs, collecting new, unused, warm pajamas for families in need. Now through December 14th, drop off donations at our radio station at 755 West 28th Street, Avenir Financial on South First Avenue and North Frontage Road in the foothills, and any local Little Caesars Pizza. Let's keep Yuma warm this holiday season.
There's a man in D.C.
Hey, I'm not 60 KBLU. Russ Clark back with you. Chris is here. Oh, he didn't have Mike.
I'm here in the kids' seat.
Yeah, he's in the corner. Richard Spriggs with me. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning.
And with the new program, I guess Andy's here from the Food Man. Get close to the mic. You can't.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You got to. It's on a hinge. You can pull it next to you.
There you
go. Whatever you want.
Thought he was going to fall asleep there for a minute.
Well, we'll keep away. But you've got a program you've done before.
Yeah, Aim to Help Hunger. It's a food drive that we have not done for a couple of years, and I've been wanting to get back to it. And I've felt more and more like this is the right time, especially after all the government shut down and everything. I've had so many customers come in the store and shopping and looking, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm affected by the shutdown. I'm not getting paid." Andy's a good friend of mine, and he's been telling me what's going on at the food bank. It's like, all right, we got to pitch in, and we can't wait. Now's the time. So this one, our food drive is a little different. We accept all kinds of, stuff from the pantry, from the grocery store, but we also are encouraging our customer base, which is a lot of outdoorsmen, hunters, and fishermen and ladies, to come and clear out their freezer. Yep. And that stuff's only supposed to stay in there maybe a year. It's really at its best if it's used before a year. Mm-hmm. And the fall hunting season is on. We accept wild game and fish, as well as like all the above that was just mentioned, as well as financial donations.
Which is kind of unique.
It is. I mean, most food drives aren't able to, but Andy and the food bank, they have relationships with Crossroads Mission and others who can take non-UPC labeled food out of a freezer and cook it up and prepare it for those in need.
They have kitchens.
They have kitchens.
Yeah. Mission's one of them, I know.
Lots of people are hungry each and every day in our community, and it's pretty evident as you drive around town more and more.
I was at the food bank Tuesday night. I went there during the day, Tuesday, to set up for a meeting we were going to have that night. I couldn't find a parking spot, Andy.
It's packed. Packed.
It was nuts. And the people were cranky.
Well, they're getting happier. We're giving out turkeys this week, so we've had a huge influx people of need and stuff like that, and they know if they're getting a big bird and they're getting an opportunity for the holidays, we're making that happen for them.
I went inside, talked to Cheryl a little bit. She said it has been really packed. I mean, SNAP got cut off for a little while. Some layoffs that happened at YPG and everywhere else. A lot of ancillary businesses were affected by the government shutdown, if not directly.
Absolutely. We saw a huge influx. We actually even had to have traffic control with some sheriffs out there, just being able to move in and out of our parking lot. That's
where the cranky part came in.
Yeah, that's the hard part, is people moving in and out. The parking lot's not the biggest, and having that big of an influx all at once, it's hard to get people in and out.
Yeah. Well, while I was there, you had people with vests on helping out, volunteers and stuff, trying to keep order, but the people didn't want to wait to get in the parking lot.
It was tough.
Yeah.
It's definitely opportunities. That's for sure.
And it all worked out. But how are you keeping the shelves filled with the great demand? It's got to be a struggle.
Luckily, we have great community partners. I mean, like Richard and everyone else. We've had some great charitable gifts that came in, and we were able to order some food outside our normal sources. These turkeys were one of them. We were able to go after some extra food and some supplies. We had a pretty good start, but with the influx, we had to get more, and we were able to get that with generous givings from the community and other corporations.
Yeah, and your reach is far beyond Yuma too. I mean, you have.
Oh yeah, I mean, San Luis, Somerton. We go out to we go to Welton. We go into La Paz. We do Quartzsite, Parker.
And I know at times when you have an influx, particularly fresh produce or something that you can't move right away, you actually share that with
we do. There's 4 food banks in the state of Arizona, and we have a great partnership, and we're able to share with what we have, and they also share back. Some of the food banks, like up in the Phoenix market, they have a lot of bread opportunities, and they send it towards us while we send produce towards them. So it's a great partnership, and we're able to share both.
And it's all seasonal. Who knows?
Absolutely.
You never know.
You never know.
Yeah. You wait till the phone rings.
That's how it is.
And go on. And then Richard calls.
Yeah, thank goodness.
And so we're going to have gamers empty their freezer.
Yep.
Which they like that, though.
You know what? It's just I mean, you try to eat it all and share, but inevitably you got some that you need to rotate out.
Right. And what a great rational reason to do that is to help some families, help some others.
Yeah.
And then you can get your gear out and say, well, we need to fill the freezer.
So with any kind of luck, maybe this Thanksgiving there'll be more than turkey and ham on the menu.
It could be elk.
Could be some buffalo. It could be some javelina. You never know. Maybe
and fish and
maybe some
else,
halibut.
You never know.
Get lucky.
You just never know.
Yeah, you never know. And I know the cooks over at the mission, I know, very creative.
We've taken a lot of wild game over there in the past, even to include pigeons. Squab.
I know during bird season, for those that hit their limits and they don't really have time to take care of the birds, they can drop them off.
Yep. They're always glad to receive whatever you bring.
There's a lot of people that obviously need in Yuma and stuff like that, and the mission fits that bill a lot. People don't have the opportunity to cook for themselves.
Right.
So.
Who else is cooking, Andy, besides the mission?
I know there's a couple other agencies that are willing to take it from us, and we just haven't set those up yet. So there's a lot of different ones. So.
I think does Red Cross have a kitchen? I know
they do.
They do. I don't know what their limits are, but
we can give what we can, what they're willing to take from us. A lot of that stuff they already have through their own sources, but we're willing to give it. We help anyone out, any agency out in any community partner in the Yuma market that needs it.
Well, did you have a good drive with the turkeys for the mission? You guys were at Walmart.
Yeah, we're still doing that right now. I mean, White Cat is out there doing it now. I think they're having on Avenue B. They're having a big White Cat thing with the bus and stuff, and they're bringing a bunch of turkeys there. And then I know the county and the city had challenges, and they're doing stuff. The post office dropped off turkeys yesterday to us, so that's really a whole community just get behind it and trying to take care of each other.
You want to collect 1,000 turkeys just for Thanksgiving.
That's the idea. We're trying to do our best.
I picked up the grandkids last Friday from school out in the foothills. We stopped at the Walmart, let them pick out a turkey for the mission. And we went outside, and it was just good for the kids.
How do you pick a turkey out?
I'd let the kids do it.
They like the color.
I want to see how creative they got. They look through the whole bin. I like that one.
That must have been fun.
Exactly. Are you sure? Are you sure that's the one? Oh, yes.
That's the one. That's the right one right there. But we went out and talked to the mission people of representation. They were out front and collecting, very helpful. And a couple of guys were people that were there because they were in need of help. And of course, they're volunteering and getting out there to help the process and help what was going on. But they hit some low parts in their lives that that they need to rehabilitate from, and they seemed motivated and happy and directed towards doing the right things to help the community and help others.
We'll definitely take volunteers at any time. I mean, volunteers are always needed. I mean, food, funds, financial, and then volunteers. Those are our three things that we always need, honestly. And we turn it around and just get it out there. So we need people to help us, just like you said, on the parking lot, delivering, making sure that we're getting that done. People in the back, making sure we're getting all the product rotated through so we can get it out to the community.
I've heard those complaints before. People drive by the food bank and they see a Cadillac Eldorado out front or something. They go, these people don't need food. A lot of times, and it could be you own a Cadillac and you still have a hard time, but also it could be you have a Cadillac and use it to deliver food to those that are having struggles and can't get to there to pick it up themselves.
Just remember, volunteers drive there too, and they park there as well.
They do.
A lot of the volunteers that we are lucky enough to have that are donors also, they drive cars also, and you can't judge the parking lot by who needs.
Well, no. And somebody could have a luxury car when they were at their high point in time, and something happens and the rug got pulled out.
Doesn't take much when you get laid off at YPG, no matter what you're driving at that point, and you miss a few paychecks.
Right.
Everybody gets behind sometimes, and
they,
when you live paycheck to paycheck.
It can, and a lot of us do. I read a report on that the other day, and I think it was the younger kids, 74% are basically have less than $2,000 in savings.
Yeah.
Which is not going to
one paycheck,
get far.
Basically one paycheck once you throw rent and food and everything else on there.
Not going to get them far. So, Richard, what is this big event?
It's this Saturday, November.
The dog likes that day.
It's going to be Saturday the 22nd, coming up day after tomorrow.
Yeah.
And it's going to be from 9 to 2. The store normally opens at 10. We're going to open at 9. And we'll be set up out front. We're going to make it pretty easy. You can just basically drive up, drop off. We'll unload if you like. We are doing something else a little different. We are saying thank you to all donators with a free indoor range pass and a chance to win one of 4 $100 Sprague/Truckmates gift cards. We'll draw for that at 2:00.
Okay.
So everybody gets in the drawing that drops off food and the range pass as well.
Now you have volunteers usually come in and help too.
We do. We'll be set up out front. I think Andy will have some personnel out there as well. We'll have a freezer out there to take frozen food. We'll have a big.
We got a big one of our trucks. Right. We have a big bin to put stuff in as
dry
well.
Goods.
And then we'll have a van that we can cater, go back and forth if we need to, if we get so much frozen items. Everything needs to be frozen on meats. That's the key. Is we need to be frozen. We need to be
refrigerated
frozen.
meats.
If it's refrigerated, we'll just take it directly to the mission. We won't refuse it. We'll just take it directly to the mission. But Andy's got places to put frozen goods. So.
Okay, but go through that pantry, and if you bought a bunch of canned stuff that you thought was a good idea at the time, and you're not going to use it, don't let it go bad.
We've had people go bring food that they've just purchased directly across the street in a bag. So here you go, and it's just awesome to see that.
Yeah.
So, but we'll be set up out front with a pop up. We'll have a lot of volunteers out front helping out with all the above.
Right, and then you weigh it all. I guess you give us a total number at the end.
We do. Every pound counts. So we talk about pounding because pounds make. Is how we do.
And if somebody's got a whole bunch of stuff and they just don't want to mess with it, if it's within 20 miles, I'll come and get it.
Yeah, send a truck over.
I will.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of Yeti ice chests. Imagine that.
I bet you do. I bet you do. And they'll keep it cold for a long time. Days.
Mm-hmm.
They will. So the 22nd is Saturday, 9 a.m. to 2.
Yes, sir.
Anytime, if they can't make it during that time, like I say, call Richard. He'll make arrangements.
If they have to drop off something after 2, we'll be there till 5 o'clock for sure.
We're going to try to help out.
Yeah, but I'll have my crew out there till 2.
Yeah, and this is you're coming into the season, the toughest season for you, summer.
It is just because of lack of produce, lack of opportunities with
lack
less
of volunteers,
less
people.
Absolutely.
When the snowbird population gets here, they
jump in. Oh yeah, we definitely get a lot. We get
not even from this state or this community, but they like it.
Yeah, they're awesome. I mean, we get people from all over the nation, even Canada and stuff like that. They all jump in, and there's a lot of volunteers that come that we see every year over year.
They do all that.
Andy, I have a question. What is the process to be able to volunteer with you guys?
Pretty simple. Just you just call up the food bank or go onto our website and just say you want to volunteer. You get your name on there. Our volunteer coordinator, Lori, will contact you and set up, hey, what time do you want to come in? We have needs from here to here, but we'll take you anytime. So it's pretty simple.
Okay.
Come in.
Yep. We want you.
So, Richard, I since you're here, I want to know how business is with the firearm sales.
Firearm sales, actually, this has been a softer year for the industry for the last year and a half.
Well, but it doesn't tend to follow that when you have a president and administration that's in that supports Second Amendment rights.
There's a consistent pattern to when the waters are calm out there in our industry.
Right.
People relax.
Nobody's attacking.
And actually, it becomes a good thing because it makes everybody be better business people. And they go in and they retune, they recalculate, and they come back stronger than ever, really, with good products. Those that make it through that dip.
Yes. Now, product innovations still happen.
Yes, it's a big driver in probably all industries, but for sure ours. And there's some cool stuff coming. I had our Swarovski rep. Let's see what's today. I'm not supposed to talk about this yet, but there's some new stuff coming that's quite amazing.
Well, you can tell us when you can tell us.
Yes, 4 more days.
But I know there was a new concealed carry pistol that came out with a cartridge that they can fit 20 rounds. It's not really a clip. It's
it's internal magazine.
And I know people that wanted to buy one, and it was like back ordered for like a while.
They are not readily available. They're kind of what they call allocated, but they're dribbling through.
Yeah, I've seen one actually finally. But interesting.
Yeah,
interesting gun. Not a clip, just
an internal box magazine, so to speak.
Right, but if you have 20 rounds,
that should be enough.
You would hope so,
right?
I mean, and it's more of a defensive weapon type firearm.
And it's also there are some states that it can be allowed in that may not have allowed it if it had been a
clip.
Yeah, and I think that's another angle on that particular model.
I think state of California does it. What limits to 10 or something?
Yes, at least for a detachable magazine.
For detachable
that's
magazines.
why I think that this might, for a short period of time, be a do differently.
Change the law.
We don't. We never know.
Just like taxes.
We never know. And you also handle pre-owned firearms.
Yeah, that's a very strong part of our business, and it's actually we never have enough used guns. We're always buying every single day. We're due probably about 30 or 40% consignment, and that way we're able to get the customer, if they've got the luxury of time on their hands, we can get them a little bit more, maybe 5 to 8% more return on their investment. But used guns we're buying and trading every day.
Really,
and that's been and it's always fun because I mean I get no more pleasure than finding out when was that gun made. Oh, that's a 1970. Oh my God, look at the condition. That thing's awesome. And it's 55 years old.
So you still love guns?
I absolutely do, and that's why I'm still there and enjoying my work every day. Plus the people I get to deal with.
And your son allows you to still stay?
Yeah, they try to keep up with me still.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
really.
They do a great job. I have an amazing team.
Yeah,
and when I'm gone, they don't miss a lick.
Really, you can take a vacation and
I
take some time off.
I'm known to be gone on occasion.
Okay, well, that's good.
No, I'm in a good spot. Yeah.
Okay, all right. You're not.
I have a great team. You know, we're employee owned now as of 3 years ago.
I did not know.
Yep, both Truckmates and Spriggs are employee owned.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool to see shares of the company going to those that have built it.
Okay, and that's not common.
It's not common. It's not easy. It's just the route I chose to go, and I have had basically some people that have been working for me. My average tenure is over 10 years.
Okay,
and I have about 32 full-time employees between Spriggs and Truckmates. And and Ron Gissner has been with me through thick and thin for 41 and a half years now. So he's the first guy I hired, and we still work together every day.
Okay.
And I've got a bunch of guys that are in 10, 15, 20, 25 years.
That's longer than most marriages.
Ron's just been with me through a couple himself. And yeah, it is.
It is. Well, good for you.
So I really like what the ESOP brings to my employees. They're going to spend their time doing what they enjoy doing, working with customers like I do, and in the industry we serve. And at the end, they're going to have, a return on their investment as well.
It's good, and they're dedicated.
They are.
They always were.
Well, yeah, but I mean, this is just more reward. It makes me feel good that they're going to put in their time. And they're going to have more at the end as well.
Right.
And that's my role right now. I feel at this phase of life experience is to help them make sure they're set up for their future as well.
Good for you. That's excellent, and it's going to keep the business going forward.
There's continuity for sure.
Yeah.
There's
an interest to keep growing and keep improving new products, new stuff.
We love it. It's like really, it's just like almost like Christmas every day there with trucks rolling. We get 6 to 8 deliveries a day. We got trade-ins coming in. It's a fun place.
The indoor fire range is very busy.
The range is doing awesome.
I know you built the initial one and realized it wasn't enough and had to add.
Yeah, and I'm already thinking I might add again.
Do you have the property for it?
I think so. That will be depending on the city of Yuma and some architects.
There you go. Is it going to be a 2-story?
No, not 2-story. There's so much equipment on the roof that it would be hard to add on top.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, it's like a whole city up there of stuff.
Okay. Air conditioners and
Andy knows that business well because Andy's in the HVAC business as well as his day job.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't born in Yuma by any means. I moved here in '95, but I still remember the old buildings up front. It's a restaurant now.
Yeah.
That was the store.
Yeah, we built that store in that building in '71.
Okay.
And La Casa Deli's been a great addition to the property there. I just love that they make fresh tortillas about every other day.
You guys know where you're going to have lunch.
Exactly.
breakfast and lunch. They have great breakfast.
They do all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been a real. I've seen a lot of changes, a lot of innovation, a lot of add-ons. I didn't realize Truckmates was that old.
Truckmates. So we've been in the gun business 69 years this year, and then we got into camper shells, truck accessories, 12 years later. So it's been 57 years.
I didn't realize it wasn't as visible to me.
No, that's why we took the gamble and built, the building up front.
I talked to somebody the other day that had an addition onto their truck, and I was looking at it. I said, "Well, would you get that at Sprague's?" No, I didn't get it at Sprague's. I got it at that other business, Truckmates.
Whatever works, man.
Yeah. I said, "There's one right in front of Sprague's." Yeah, that one. Okay, well, it's all the same.
Yeah.
Same ownership and everything.
Yes, sir.
You keep it separate.
Well, they've got their own
products.
EIN. They've got their own identity. They've got their own website, but it's all one family. All of the Truckmates and Sprague's are all under the ESOP, the Employee Stock Ownership Plan. So Sprague's and Truckmates employees have ownership as well.
So Truckmates gets involved in the food drive.
If I ask them to, they're not normally open on Saturdays. So,
Okay.
but those guys, I mean, I've got some of their kids coming over to help.
Oh, and they're involved.
Yeah.
And that's going to be this weekend, the 22nd, this Saturday, 9:00 in the morning till 2.
Yeah.
Go by and see me. You may even see a Truckmate person out there. 9 to 2. They'll help you unload if you need to.
Absolutely.
If you have a problem with transportation, call in.
You can park and unload and come in. You can drive through, and we'll make it real easy.
Well, gentlemen, Andy, thank you.
Thank you very
Andy's
much.
different than gentlemen.
Oh, I see how it is. Okay.
Make that distinction. Well, I'll be back with Chris after this. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll be back.
Thank you.
There's a man in D.C. He stands 6'3". He's fighting for you. He's fighting for me. He'll drain that old swamp, just like he said. He'll make America great again. So get on that Trump train.
This is Talk 560 KBLU. Yuma. It's what? I'm Anthony Fox News. We got the jobs this morning. Well over by the government down. Fox's solar reports came in way better than expected, sending Dow's surging up over 500 points on Wall Street.
There were 190,000 new jobs created, more than double the 50,000 expected. The unemployment rate rose to 4.4%. There won't be a separate October employment report released because there wasn't sufficient data collected during the government shutdown. It will be part of the November report on December 16th.
The August jobs numbers were revised, so instead of a gain of 4,000 jobs were lost that month, and a lot more jobs are going away. Verizon, the company plans to lay off 13,000 workers. President Trump is angry with Democrats in Congress over a video they posted opposing the U.S. military operation off the South American coast that's blown up suspected drug trafficking boats, killing dozens of alleged narco terrorists.
This is a half dozen congressional Democrats, and they've posted this video telling members of the military and intelligence services that it's their duty to defy what they're calling illegal orders. Now, these Democrats are all veterans themselves of the intelligence services or the military, and they say it is a duty to refuse orders that violate the Constitution.
Fox's Rick Benson at the White House, and reacting to that on Truth Social a short time ago, President Trump called those Democrats traitors, and that each one should be arrested and put on trial, and that their words cannot be allowed to stand, adding an example must be set. Last night, the president signed the resolution Congress passed to compel the Justice Department to release more files from the Epstein underage girl sex trafficking scheme.
Attorney General Pam Bondi, meantime, and her Justice Department have 30 days now to comply, although some documents may be redacted and others may be withheld, citing ongoing investigation.
As Fox's Doug Luzader, Congress passed that resolution almost unanimously. America's listening to Fox News. Julia owed the IRS thousands.
I was paralyzed with fear.
Then
I heard a commercial for Optima Tax Relief.
Optima Tax Relief is the leading tax resolution firm, A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and experts in the Fresh Start Initiative.
Optima Tax Relief settled my IRS tax bill.
Call Optima now for a free consultation.
It was amazing.
Call 800-926-0155. 800-926-0155. Optima Tax Relief. Visit OptimaTaxRelief.com for details. So PureTalk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $29.95 a month for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This top-tier plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you'll save over 50% every month for the rest of your life. You might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Just dial 250, say micro. Offer expires 12/7. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
Good morning from the News 11 Information Desk. I'm Danielle Burke-North. A local nonprofit is short on their goal to feed the Yuma community for the upcoming holidays. Crossroads Mission's goal was to collect 1,000 cookies for last turkey drive, but fell short. Their goal is to raise $100,000 and 100,000 pounds of food as mission funds to feed people in need during the holidays. If you would like to donate, you can bring turkeys and any food items to Crossroads Mission. Plus, help us feed local veterans. The turkey drive for veterans is today at the Footnotes Walmart at noon at 8 p.m. All turkeys collected will go to veteran organizations in Yuma County. You can also donate gift cards and the amount that will go towards the purchase of items for Thanksgiving meals. Join us on the TV site for News 11 every weekday at 5, 6, and 10. All of your local news, weather, and sports. I'm Danielle Burke-North.
Since 1905, the Yuma County Chamber of Commerce has been the voice for business in Greater Yuma. Want to stay informed about Yuma's business community? The Chamber connects you with local leaders, business and marketing opportunities, and advocacy that ensures Yuma stays a great place for your business to grow and thrive. Serving all of Yuma and Yuma County, including the Kokopah and Quashan Nations, the Chamber strengthens partnerships that move our region forward. Be part of Yuma's business network. Call Valeria or Ashley today at 928-782-2567.
AM 560 KBLU, Russ Clark with you. Chris is here.
I'm here. Back in the.
I just got a call from a listener that said that Trump just said something. I haven't verified yet. I look real quick. It's not on the news yet, but this issue where our Senator Kelly and others have come forward and say that Trump is breaking law, and that
reminding the soldiers
soldiers should not listen to the orders.
Illegal orders.
And I said it had something to do with illegals, but it was not. It was the Venezuela boats that are getting blown out of the water.
Yeah.
That we've got congressmen, senators, a few, just a couple, not very many, a couple of them calling on soldiers to deny orders.
Right. And we were talking during the break that there's an oversight committee for things like this. We don't have the intel publicly, but it is being looked at. People are actively, looking for these targets, verifying that they're legitimate targets, and it's being, reported to the oversight committees and the soldiers that are involved in making, pushing the buttons to sending those missiles. They'd be part of the conversation, to a point. They're involved.
It doesn't mean they can't make a blunder and do something stupid, but
but I'm confident they're not illegal orders.
I would hope so. I mean, it wasn't like it's a secret mission. It's like the most public we're going to get. They declassify those footage right away so they can put it on social media.
And even the secret missions that nobody finds out about, those guys, that is a big concern of theirs, and they verify that this is a legal operation.
But according to my caller, he called me off air and said that Trump asked to have them arrested.
Whether you verify that, I'm not surprised that he would say that.
I don't know,
but because he says things like that. Whether it's illegal or not, is somebody else's call.
Right.
But Trump, he'll say something like that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
He's disappointed in them, and he's expressing that disappointment.
Yeah, but asking to have a U.S. senator arrested is a big deal. I mean, I don't think that was done without research, without an advisor. Somebody looking at that saying, is that a good thing to say? Whether or not if it comes to pass, I have no idea.
But it could have been just something off the fly. Trump says, and he does that from time to time.
Yeah, it can. I want to talk about Pope Leo. Now, he's been in the news before saying that he doesn't agree with the
ICE raids and things like that.
The what?
The ICE raids?
Yeah, the ICE raids or the immigration and that we stop immigration and all that. He came out to clarify that a little bit.
Okay.
Because there was a lot of questions like how can you dictate to a country that we have to take illegals into the border and all that stuff. And he rejected the idea that Catholic Church supports open borders. He's rejecting that.
Okay.
And that was the impression I think a lot of people got, was that he was asking for open borders.
I got the impression he didn't appreciate the method.
Well, and that's what he wanted to clean up. But he said he agrees with the Catholic bishops in the United States that is not treating immigrants properly.
Mm.
He said he met with reporters and stuff and talked to them about it and gave his thoughts on the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops and the recent special pastoral message on immigration. And the special announcement, the conference argued that immigrants, like all humans, are made in the image of God. Well, I think that's a good start.
Yeah.
No one's going to disagree with that. And therefore entitled to human dignity.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. At the same time, however, they argued that we recognize that nations have a responsibility to regulate their borders and establish a just and orderly immigration system for the sake of the common good.
Right.
He said, without such processes, immigrants face the risk of trafficking and other forms of exploitation, which
that's
they
true.
do heavily in this country. I mean, the cartels and the traffickers, the coyotes, they all exploit these people to the nth degree.
Yeah, absolutely.
So safe and legal pathways serve as an antidote to such risk. Correct. I mean, that's all good.
There's nothing to disagree with.
We oppose the indiscriminate mass deportation of people. And the end of dehumanizing rhetoric and violence whether directed at immigrants or at law enforcement.
So he's a victim of the mainstream media's
possibly, but we oppose discrimination. Now, mass deportation right now is to correct a situation that they broke the laws, come in here, and that's on the books, and that's what happens. But he also says he's against that, but he's also against all the violence directed at law enforcement.
Good. I'm glad he said that.
That's not right. Well, they're just doing it. In the equity call for compassion for the immigrants and a level of respect for nations.
Yeah.
And I think both of those are good, compassion for immigrants and respect for nations.
Yes.
But that compassion doesn't mean that we're not going to enforce the laws that you can't be here.
Yeah, and if you run away from the law enforcement officers, they're going to run after you.
That too. Yeah. They come for you. I agree. They shouldn't be put in the gulags or something. We don't do that.
Right.
We do take people into custody.
It would have been nice if he had planned all this out and said it
Way
before he just mouthed off.
Well, I think there's been a lot of news out there. It's been for months now that Pope Leo doesn't like, sort of thinks immigrants should be able to stay and all that. He says, I would invite especially all Catholics, but people of goodwill to listen carefully to what they said.
Yeah,
I think they have to look for ways of treating people humanely, treating people with the dignity that they have. And that's such a broad term that everyone's going to agree. Yes, we agree with humanely. Does that mean nobody ever gets arrested? That doesn't mean that. They're going to get arrested.
He's acknowledging that. Yeah.
He said, if people in the United States are illegal, there are ways to treat that. There are courts, which, there are courts. And believe me, the people that are getting picked up have an order of deportation through the courts. There's an order of deportation. There is a system of justice, which we follow. I think there's a lot of problems in the system. No one has said the United States should have open borders. I think every country has a right to determine who and how many people enter. Well, good.
Yeah.
But when people are living good lives, now this is where we disagree a little bit, but they're living good lives, and many of them 10, 20, 15 years, treat them in a way that is extremely disrespectful. I don't know what that means. Is it disrespectful to knock on the door and say, you're in the country illegally?
Let's go.
You're going to go. Is that disrespectful, or is that just enforcing the law? Now,
well, and you don't see it on the news, but the majority of them are going to be like, "Yep, you got me."
Well,
but that doesn't make the news.
That's not sexy enough to hit the news. And the news crews purposely followed around so they can get, the chaos of arresting people that resist.
Well, and they also love to get the American citizens that are obstructing, getting arrested, and say, "Look, the ICE agents are arresting American citizens." Well, yeah, but not because of the immigration issue, because they're obstructing law enforcement officers. They don't say that.
There's been at least one.
They just float it out there and let people say, "Oh, they're grabbing American citizens."
Well, there's at least one case I know of that somebody was grabbed. It's an American citizen because he didn't tell them he was an American citizen, didn't show them that they
until
like I shouldn't have to prove it.
Later.
Well, later he didn't want to go to Cuba. Eventually, he said, "Okay, I'm a citizen. Here's my driver's license."
Well, and I've been talking about this, since all this started going on. Even years ago when they would be talking about black guys are being mistreated by the police and they would say in the black community they always have the conversation with the child, make sure you obey the police officer's directives and don't escalate things, don't cause trouble. I got the same conversation from my dad. And he said the police officer is doing his job. Obey his words. If he's mistaken, that will be fixed later. But in the moment, you do what he tells you to do. You get your handcuffs, go in the officer's vehicle, whatever. All that can be fixed later, but don't escalate the problem.
Well, and that's what makes the news reports.
Yeah,
is when they fight and they throw things, and the police officers don't deploy tear gas unless there's a problem.
Right.
They're not going to say a perfectly good street and say, "Hey, let's mix it up and deploy some tear gas for no reason." That's not happening. What happens is these agitators throw rocks, bottles, threaten, fight, and they try to get control, and they do put the tear gas out there.
And they're doing that
it's
before the camera's running.
Right.
So that's not on camera. The response from the police officers that's on
It's
camera.
probably all on camera, just not all released.
Well, I don't think I would bet if you're going to try to start something, you're going to wait until the response to start your camera rolling, because you don't want that.
There's a lot of those that don't. But I mean, we're getting a lot of it on camera where the people are acting, but it usually comes from policemen that are handling, or ICE agents that have their own camera.
All the more reason to have chest body cameras.
Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Oh,
wrong.
Now we're not.
Yeah, wrong number. Somebody trying to ask me again if I want Medicare. I get too many of those calls. You don't know what that's like.
I'm getting it.
You're getting Medicare?
I'm getting the emails and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, man. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air. Good morning.
Are you pushing the right button?
Are you there?
Hey, there we are.
Good morning, OG.
Hey there. I was on the phone.
Okay.
Anyway, talking about illegals and stuff, why don't they just go down to the welfare department and get their address? Because 59% of them are checks. And now I've got a little run here of statistics here. U.S. Recipients of welfare is 39%. That's citizens.
Wow.
Illegal, the illegal aliens, they're 52%. The illegals are 59% of welfare.
Wow.
So I would just go there and get an address. Now, cash, the disbursement of cash to U.S. citizens is 36%. To the legal naturalization people, it's 23%. To the illegals, cash is 36%, ties with the American citizen. So who's paying for all this stuff? So it's U.S. citizens paying for it.
Yes.
Now, food banks and such, SNAP, all that crap. The U.S. citizens gets 25% of it. The illegal naturalization guys, they get 34%. And the illegals are 48% of all the SNAP stuff.
Wow.
And then Medicaid, oh boy, Medicaid. I'm telling you guys, we cannot support the world. And I don't know who these pacifists are. They can come on everybody. This is crap. Unless you want to have, take 5 to your house. I have no problem with everybody bringing them to their house and sharing a room with them.
Sure.
But U.S. residents on Medicaid, 25%. See, I don't get Medicaid. I don't get none of that stuff because I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm 84 years old. I go and I tell them I'm self-insured. They set me out in the hallway like I'm fucking homeless. No, they have no respect for cash because they cannot charge me $18 for a 3-cent wooden depressor.
Right.
They know that, so they set me in the hallway. This is the medical profession is in cahoots with insurance. Now, that being said, but Medicaid, 25% U.S. residents, 36% legal naturalization people, then 39% is illegals. So I just go down and get some addresses and go get them.
They should. And
yes.
And it's not legal to give Medicaid to illegals.
No.
And that's what the left says. We're not doing it because it's illegal. Yes, they do it. They do it through NGOs, a lot of it, and it funnels back through there. And that's what Trump stops, and they are going nuts. That was a big part of that 1.5 trillion that they wanted. Because according to Big Beautiful Bill, that all has to come to a halt.
Yes. The big bill, it eliminates all that crap.
Yep.
But I didn't cover housing, folks. Like the rich, you have expensive, like Denver. You got these 32,000 people that are working, that can't afford lodging, that are parking every 3 days, and the police are harassing them. You got to move. You can't live park here. They make less money than the rent is charging. For instance, they might make $1,700 a month, but the rent is $2,700. In Denver, Colorado, this is stuff that the media is not covering on your national news. Memphis, the crime is unreal because of that. But every city is touched by this crap, and the media is not telling us that, Russ.
No.
And you cannot find it on the internet either. You have to hunt because the internet is being contaminated by this false fake news crap too. But the housing,
The reason you get the U.S. citizens and these people working can't find a house, illegals are there. Remember Aurora, Colorado, where they said that the Venezuelan gang came and took over the apartments and was collecting the rent, there?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going on all over the country, folks. Now, if you want that in Yuma, bring it on. But they don't want to come to Yuma because there's no jobs here. None. And then what I heard on your news, 4.5% unemployed. What a freaking lie. You only have 61% of the workforce working.
Yeah.
Translation, 39% are unemployed, folks. Do the math. The only people that count are the ones that have applied for unemployment.
That's true.
So, 4.5% of those not working are eligible to apply. That's what they're not telling you. But it's really 39% unemployed across the country. The rest of these people are getting SNAP. They're getting all these benefits and stuff. And they're living at home with mom and dad and grandpa and grandma. Mm-hmm. They are, folks. Wake up. If the midterms, if you screw up on the midterms and you put a freaking a communist in there, like we almost did with Kamala was a practicing Marxist, folks, and she garnered 67 million votes. Now that's a lot of communists running this in this country. Mm-hmm. And don't forget, and they brag about this, 77% of black men voted for a Marxist, voted for Kamala.
Yep.
So I don't want to hear this. The blacks put Trump in office. They did not. The reason that Charlie Kirk got killed was because he was so effective. He was going to these colleges, debating with these fellows, and winning them over. And 22 million of these young guys are the ones that voted Trump in office. 22 million of them. They call them Gen Zs. So it was them who got Trump in office, not black people, not Latinos. It was the Gen Zs who tell the truth, media. Yes, I'm saying, Russ.
Well, I understand they didn't get a percentage, but he won more votes than any Republican had in any recent memory.
Within the makeup of 22, and within the makeup of 22 million Gen Zs, you can have some Latinos, you can have some blacks, but tell the truth. It wasn't solely blacks that put Trump in office. It was not. Now, he might have got more black votes than any other Republican ever.
Right.
Could be true, but they did not elect Donald Trump.
It got more black votes, more Hispanic votes, more women. I mean, it came across the board, and I think that's significant. It needs to be mentioned. Yeah.
No. They didn't win any races in Russ. He just got a bigger percentage than any other Republican did.
Right.
Okay. In the past. That doesn't mean that they won the race. But if you take away 22 million Gen Zs and see what the hell you got, Trump did not win.
He needed them all. Yep.
No. Let me put it this another way. There's 60% whites in this country. There's 12% black in the country. There's about 26% Chicano, and there's about 2% other. That includes Asians.
Yeah.
About 10% of whites predominantly will vote for Republicans. So Republicans do not need the black vote. For the Democrats to win at the last election, and they have to have the black vote to win.
Mm-hmm.
But Republicans don't have to have them. But the Democrats do. You follow? So that's why it was significant for the Republican Party to pull a certain more blacks away from Democrats, because that, in effect, is what caused them to lose. You follow?
Okay.
Well, no, if you approach it, with math, 12% is all the blacks number in the United States. That's it. But they make more noise than any other group. LBJ, the affirmative action was not a legal law. It was a proclamation by LBJ in 1965, and nobody challenged that. Everybody's running around thinking, from the manufacturing high schools and colleges, it's all law. It's not. It was LBJ, a Democrat presidential proclamation that created affirmative action. Most people don't even know that. And another thing, on the 1964 Civil Rights Bill, it was the Democrats filibustered the Civil Rights Bill for 72 freaking days to keep it from happening.
Mm-hmm.
There was 14 Republicans that drug that damn bill across the legislative aisle and made it law, and LBJ was forced to sign it. Yes, she was.
Well, yeah.
The Republicans had promised that if it came through again, they're going to make it law without his signature.
Yeah. It failed
He
a
did
couple
that.
times under Eisenhower, sure. Yeah, Democrats.
Well, no, that was a whole different bill, 1956. Richard Nixon was a tiebreaker on that civil rights bill. Oh, I know all about this stuff, Russ. Trust me. Anyway, but just remember, folks, the Democrats were the Jefferson Davis and Andrew Johnson is a whole different story. We'll talk about that one day.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Thank
Take care.
Bye. Of course, that was OG's.
Yeah.
and I let him talk. And in a lot of ways, he says I agree with, but I'll disagree with him on this subject. And that
I think he was trying to say it wasn't so much the black vote that did it. It was the young vote.
well, he was
that
talking
did
about
it.
sheer numbers. Young vote was more.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
This is not a
And the
big
young vote is going to include
But this-
black people,
I-
and so the number one.
But I think it is absolutely worth noting his ability to reach into every section
Yeah.
of the community and get a better result than others before him did.
And I will,
And it's worthwhile.
and I will go along with OG a little bit. It wasn't so much about the race. You know, we're not racist. You know, we're appealing to everybody.
Right.
And I think it was more young people who generally don't get involved in politics did get involved in politics. And in that young people vote was a whole bunch of different races of people. And that, you know, so when you look at the races, it looks like, yeah, we had more of this race or that
What
race
it looked like
together.
we did have more.
And we did,
Yeah.
but I think it was more because the young people got involved
Might
than
be-
they ever have before.
Possibly.
And I think that's fantastic. And I'd really like to stop talking races and start talking about the people are involved. The young people that normally aren't involved are getting involved. We're getting these voices heard.
I
And
could-
along with that is, you know, these different race groups.
I completely understand the not make it a racial issue.
Yeah.
But with race being such a focal point, I feel like we need to at least acknowledge where it is versus, you know, listening to the left or other people that
I
don't
think
dispute it.
I think it's shifting now, though. I think
I
it's
think it's
getting
shifting
away
to where
from-
race matters less.
Yes, exactly.
And policies matter more. And I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
To
That's
where
what it should.
where, you know, helping people of all cultures and races as one American unit versus singling out, I think is great.
I agree.
But still, I love looking at the stats afterwards and realizing that he had advances in historical voting
Everything.
everywhere.
Yeah. And you know, and I love the numbers too. I'm a math guy, and it was, you know, fascinating. And I talk about it to people like, you know, they look at me with this blank look on their face, and no, that's it. That's the big thing. That was, you know, fascinating and interesting. And
My fact checker looked at it and said, had all of the black and Hispanic voters went for Harris, she would have won in a landslide.
Oh yeah,
it is important.
Yeah,
it is important. I mean, every sector of our communities are important. All of them, blacks, Hispanics, whites. I mean, to me, those designations are less impactful for me. I think it should be all of us together.
Well, and you know, I go back to the idea that, you know, in every election you've had white voters, black voters, Latino voters, all these, you know, but it's the young people that didn't. They could have, but they just
didn't. What?
They didn't get involved. They didn't vote. They
Oh, in
didn't
the
know.
past.
But
Well,
now they are. And I think that
I don't
was
know
the
any
big
numbers that
change.
support that. I mean, you're probably right, but I don't know the numbers.
I don't know the numbers out of my head. Yeah.
And
I do know that there was, there were articles and stories about it. I don't remember the numbers, but there was more people, young people involved in the politics these last few years than there have been before.
You know, we were talking about wealth earlier, and one of my listeners said, maybe people remember the robber barons of the 1800s and early 1900s and manipulated the economy to increase their wealth.
Yeah.
And they're still distrust of extreme wealth. Maybe. I don't see that. I don't know that. But
Well, it's the Rockefeller
Right.
was a huge
I don't think he was.
input.
I don't know if he was in that. Robber
Robert
Baron. I don't know.
Well, he was a big influencer on the way our education system was shaped. He flat out said, "I don't want thinkers. I want people that can come in, do their job, go home." It's in their mission statement. We're not trying. And
But
our education system is still based on what he implemented way back when. So it is
really,
yeah, it
I
absolutely
doubt
is.
that he was that influential, but
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not engaging it.
Because we didn't have a big public education system at the time he created it.
But people looking at what happened in 1800s, 1900s, and we had monopolies. We had stuff that was some unfair business practices that have since been, I guess, curtailed.
Yeah.
But do people still look at that and they say, "Well, back in the 1800s," I don't know. I doubt it, but he's entitled to that opinion. Warning signs appear on Mexican beach declaring areas restricted by U.S. and Mexico rejects Trump's over strike cartel. Look, there's a place in Texas where the borderline gets skewed a little bit. The Rio Grande is the borderline.
Right.
Sometimes
It
shifts.
Yeah.
And the U.S. came out and put some warning signs up that this is U.S. property, and Mexico's took it down. And I don't know how big. I'm imagining this thing not being that big a deal. So warning signs appear on Mexican beach declaring area restricted by U.S. True, it happened. As Mexico rejects Trump's offer to strike cartels, and I do want to talk about that a little bit. Well, first off, the property issues is an ongoing dispute all the time.
Yeah. And that's
I
not
don't
new.
know the truth about it.
Yeah.
But I do want to talk about Trump's offer to strike the cartels. And, he's talking about striking the cartels, not in international waters, but on sovereign territory. And when we get back, we'll discuss that a little bit. Be right back. AM 516.
Mostly sunny and 68 today. Cloudy with periods of rain after midnight tonight with 54. Steady rain on Friday, possibly heavy at times with a high of 58. Rain on Friday night, 54 the low. Showers on Saturday with a high of 62. And then 50 and partly cloudy on Saturday night.
All right, do-it-yourselfer, you've got the idea, and you got your building supplies at Southwest Lumber.
That's right.
Now, all you need is a bunch of expensive tools to get the job done.
Oh, that's right.
And just the place to rent them. Southwest Lumber, your home for everything home improvement. Southwest Lumber has half-day to multiple-day rentals available on just about anything you need to finish the job. Rent equipment and tools on Saturday and Sunday, it's free. Stop in today at 1917 South Avenue B in Yuma. Southwest Lumber, ready for everything.
To be a part of Russ's show, call 928-344-5258. That's 928-344-5258.
We're the comfort experts, people you can trust. Ask our customers. That's why they count on us. Over 50 years of service, keep us going strong. We've got a name you can depend upon. Hansberger Refrigeration and Electric. Hansberger, count on us.
AM 560 KBLU, Russ Clark back with you. And Chris is
I am here. Coming up to the end already.
Yeah, no, I only got a half hour, but I got time to get stuff out. I want to talk about these cartels and Trump's offer. It's been out there for a while.
Yeah.
That he's offered to go in and let me take care of that problem you got with these Mexican cartels militarily. We can help you with that. And
I would be opposed to that.
I don't know what the plan is.
We should not be the police force.
I'm not opposed to it yet. I don't know what the plan is. I'm opposed to the constant illegal activity that goes on in our country, crosses the border. And do I think we should leave American soil to stop it? Sure. We do that all the time. I mean, we ask for extradition for criminals and stuff like that do criminal activity. Do we help with that? Yeah, I'm sure we do quite a bit. This would be very public, and the president has offered to help with the problem of cartels because it helps us.
Yeah.
And now the president down there, Claudia Sheinbaum, she rejected again anything like that. And she said, no, not in sovereign territory, whatever. which I don't know how tied up she is. I mean, I don't know how you can be president of that country
without being involved
or without saying we're going to leave you alone or we're going to help you one way or the other, because they're as powerful as the country when it comes to military and stuff. I don't think the Mexican military would have a chance against the
Yeah,
cartels.
the cartels. Well, they're in everything. They're in the police force. They're in the military. They're involved. Have you seen the reports of young people protesting in Mexico about the corruption? That I think is an interesting development.
I didn't know Mexico ever had a protest issue. I didn't know.
No, yeah, it's a thing going on right now. So that's what's watching.
I'm sure there's a big change in Mexico because of all the activity so far on the border being shut down with illegal activity coming across as far as personnel and people and illegal immigration, deportations, and all that.
Cartels are getting upset.
Well, gosh, that's their money.
Yeah.
It's trillions of dollars they make on this stuff. And then once illegals get into the country, billions of dollars get sent back to Mexico on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Either to the cartels or to families or whatever, but it supports the Mexican economy. It's not the whole Mexican economy, but there's a big support there.
And not just Mexico. It goes all the way down into South America, too.
Trump says he could do whatever he can to stop whatever it takes, stop drugs and stuff in the U.S. And, even though the border's pretty shut down right now and immigration is shut down, they're building like crazy more infrastructure to stop everything, which would include drugs. And that's a lot harder because, a small drone can come over and drop something, and it's a lot harder to detect and stuff like that. But there's things going in right now with fencing, that's smart fencing that will detect movement,
cameras,
lights, cameras, a whole bit.
Yeah, the satellite coverage.
And once that gets all done, it's going to be so much more difficult.
Yeah.
And I know there's a naysayers out there saying, well, no matter what you build, they'll find a way around.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we should sit here and do nothing like Biden. Is that it?
That's always going to be the case. There will always be crimes. There will always be fraud.
And high security prisons have had people break out.
But make it harder.
Yeah.
Well, make it harder for them to succeed.
Every step they take, it's shutting down more of it.
Exactly.
Like okay, school does it shut down at 90%, 99%, 99.8%? I don't know the numbers.
It's a huge drop. Yeah.
But it's a lot.
Yeah. And now that we have the immigrations
net zero.
Near zero.
Well, it's net zero.
We're able to notice the truly bad actors, bringing in the drugs and the trafficking and all that kind of stuff. They're going to be more visible, and we're going to be able to.
You're right, because they've used that as a shield in order to sneak other things. Get the Border Patrol so busy with illegal personnel coming across.
Right.
That's tied up all the assets that they can more freely cross narcotics. And Border Patrol has known that game forever. I mean, they've known what goes on. Trump the other day came out and said, talking about intercepting narcotics at sea, and suggested similar operations could target cartel routes on land. And he argued that such action would save millions of lives in the U.S. Scheinbaum, heard the push back, saying the proposal echoed earlier talks with Trump about potential U.S. intervention. Mexico welcomes cooperation on security, but that its sovereignty is not negotiable. So any joint effort must respect its authority within its own borders. It's not going to happen. Which I imagine if she said it was going to happen, she wouldn't be in office.
No. Yeah, and she can't agree to that.
I don't know.
Yeah, politically
and maybe she's allowing things to happen that we don't know about and they don't know. I mean, as far as intel, security, those kind of things. If we sent personnel over there, SEAL Team 76, we'd all know, I would think. In the long run. I mean, there would be news.
Yeah, in 50 years.
There would be news. But she told Trump Secretary of State Marco Rubio, while Mexico welcomes intelligence shares, not permitting foreign forces to operate in its borders. We operate in our territory. And I don't know if this is something by Trump to keep mentioning these things, to keep the pressure on to help us stop it. Help us stop it. Don't know.
I know.
But it sounds like
It does. Yeah. Yeah. And, coming up with an idea that nobody else would have thought of is Trump. Well, why don't we just go into Mexico and stop them where they're at? And everyone else, well, you can't do that. It's Mexico. Why not? I absolutely see Trump bringing up the possibility, asking the question, why not? Well, because Mexico doesn't want us there.
and as far as that property dispute over
Yeah.
the
Well,
changing
that's
Rio Grande, it was Monday that some boats went onto the beach over in that disputed area, put signs up saying restricted U.S. Department of Defense property. Now, Mexico's foreign military, foreign affairs ministry said the Navy removed the signs and determined they were on Mexican soil.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Well,
that's not a huge deal.
throughout history, when people have used a river as a boundary and
It
a ship,
moves. But
it's always been an issue.
yeah,
That's nothing.
but that thing gets mapped out using actual measurements versus rivers. I mean, that may be the initial. Scheinbaum said Tuesday that the International Boundary and Water Commission, the agency that defines U.S.-Mexican border, had been called in to review the issue.
Yeah.
So that's all benign.
Yeah.
That's not
That's
big
not
a deal.
That's not big news. No.
And witnesses said that signs were posted on Playa Baghdad, is where the Rio Grande flows into the Gulf of America. I'm surprised they put Gulf of America.
Well, it depends on which side of
the Gulf
of those
of
signs
America.
you're on. Is it Gulf of America, Gulf of Mexico?
Yeah, that's funny. And when the signs went up, they put it in English and Spanish.
Yeah.
And Scheinbach said the signs were installed by contractors working for the U.S. government agency. And she noted that shifting riverbed often complicates exact location.
Excuse me. Yeah.
But it can be mapped out. I mean, they know. I mean,
Well, it has to be defined that if as long as it says the border is the river,
well, I don't
then it gets questionable. But yeah, if they define it, the border is this particular longitude and latitude, and the line
that's
between them.
exactly what they end up doing. Although the river may
I don't know if it's been
initially-
done. Though. Has that been redefined?
I would think so. I mean, that's the only reason they'd have somebody come look at it. You don't have to have a commission to come in and say, "Where's the river?" Because we can see it.
Right.
So there has to be another measure to do it. The area is located near SpaceX space launch. But I didn't realize that. Man. But I knew SpaceX was down near the border. Obviously, when they take off, they go over the Gulf of America, but they're right down near the border. It's at Boca Chica, Texas, and I know Mexico in the past have complained to SpaceX because they may have exposure or something falls off on the Mexican side of things.
Oh yeah,
they want Musk to come over and pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, this debris fell over here, so come pick it up. I don't think it flies over populous areas. I would doubt it.
No, it's bound to go straight over the Gulf of Mexico.
Well, it's got to go over land to get there.
Yeah.
There is a distance.
But the land would be Texas, not Mexico.
I don't know. Once it gets to a certain altitude,
doesn't really matter.
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know what that altitude is. 55 miles. I mean, we fly over Russia at high enough altitude. I don't think they like it. We call them satellites.
Yeah.
Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Good morning. This is Sandy.
Good morning, Sandy.
I wanted to go back to what Mark Kelly and these other people did. I consider it extremely bad. Basically, they're asking for military and CIA to ignore President Trump's orders, but they kept the video vague. Even when Jason Crow was asked on Martha McCallum's program, he couldn't cite anything that President Trump's order that's illegal. And Laura Ingraham said either cite what President Trump has done by law that's illegal, or understand that what you're doing is extremely dangerous.
Yeah.
And when President Trump said in his truth, I sent you a copy of it so you could read it. He said, should they be locked up? Because he put lock them up, question mark, question mark, question mark.
Right.
But again, what they did is extremely dangerous. Because if you have even just one military person think, oh my gosh, maybe this is illegal, and causes the system not to work, it can endanger everybody. And this is bad. I'm telling you, the Democrats, remember, with Maxine Waters, started all the violence and asking people to go after the first Trump administration.
Yep.
And there's just something wrong with these people. Did you have a chance to listen to the video?
I did not.
Read
No.
anything?
No, I haven't yet. I've got it, but not yet.
Well, make sure you watch it, and you'll see it's extremely vague. Because you thought it was maybe the Venezuelan vote thing.
Mm-hmm.
They don't mention that. And when Jason Crow was asked about it by Martha McCallum, I think I sent that to you. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I got it here.
Okay. He doesn't mention that. So they're just trying to cause a lot of harm. A few people have speculated that if they can get back in, they want to try to use it to impeach President Trump. They don't have the right thoughts about how to help the American people. They just don't. For somebody to go out and do this video like they did is extremely dangerous. And personally, I think they need to be censored, which I don't even know what that really does to them. But they need to be referred to an ethics committee. And I don't know exactly how that works, but there needs to be some consequences because they are really trying to endanger the president. They're trying to endanger people in the military, people in the CIA. Probably there are people in there that are doing bad stuff already because we've seen them in the past. So I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I'm kind of like shocked about the whole thing in the first place, that it came out, and that we've got ex-military like Kelly saying it, that a sitting U.S. senator would say that about to take those actions against the sitting president of the United States. I think sanctions or something need to happen to these guys. They can't.
I agree.
They can't just ask for insurrection like that.
Well,
no.
The idea that it's a dangerous action to say that, I don't think it's dangerous because every military member knows, because we're told, we're trained, you do it's your duty to not obey an illegal order,
right?
And so we all know that already. So for them to say it publicly doesn't really have an impact on the
But they
actual
could just say,
soldiers.
if there's an illegal order, they say that what he's doing is illegal,
right?
And that's a difference, and that's a line cross.
But but every soldier is already considering that for themselves
Doesn't matter.
anyway.
To have
I think
politicians
it's
start pushing for it.
I think it's for public attention. I don't think it's really having an impact on the soldiers, the military members themselves. I think it's more for public attention.
It only has to have effect on a few people, and it's going to cause problems.
Well, the
Right.
military
That's
deals
the
with
big
that all the time.
concern.
Yeah.
Not from a sitting U.S. senator.
No. But
That's a
there's always
different-
somebody in
some
the
wacko on the street corner asking for dimes.
No, but there's always a member of the military that disagrees with an order, and the
This is
military has
not
been
a
dealing
military,
with that
this
for a
is a
long time.
U.S. senator.
Oh, I understand that, but we're talking about having an impact on the military members themselves, and I don't think it's going to have a big impact. I think it's just
I'm
for
not a military guy,
public
but I'll find
attention.
out. I'll talk to people. I think it's something needs to be shut down now.
Yeah, I think it's real dangerous.
And they
It's
kept
just-
it vague,
they
so it
just
can't
keep
be
doing
questioned.
this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with these people, and he thinks he's going to run for president. I hope Mark Kelly is shut down from day one.
Oh,
I haven't seen him do anything good, and this is very negative.
Yeah.
Laura Ingraham last night on her program said, this is somebody pushing for a coup.
Right.
And even if the military are told, about illegal orders, that's if they think the president is doing something illegal and they act improperly, and he doesn't do illegal stuff. I'm telling you guys straight out, this man, because things go a little bit slower, always follows the Constitution. He always fights it in the court, and that's exactly what a lot of the Republicans have said is these things are supposed to be fought in the court system, not the way the Democrats want to do it. So, and he's not the one doing something wrong. It's the Democrats. And Greg Gutfeld said, who in the world's idea was to do this?
Yeah.
Who thought this up and decided it was a good thing?
Right.
And then when Martha McCallum asked Jason Crow for like 13, 14 minutes, whatever it was, and he can't even answer any of the questions, is unwilling to answer the questions. And she says, well, what are you talking about? What do you mean illegal? You're not telling these kids what it means. And he said just what you said, Chris. They're all told this anyway.
Yeah.
Well, then why did you do the video?
Right.
Or public.
Well, that's
But
harm.
Is that good to do that to the public, Chris?
No, but I don't think it's going to affect the military. I think it's just to.
But there's a lot of
raise
people in the military that
themselves.
are part of the public too, and it might have an effect on somebody, and that's the danger.
And I think that's what their hope is. So that's why I grow every day despising them more.
Yeah.
Because of what they do that is so wrong, and nothing that they're doing helps the American public.
That's true.
It's just like this Epstein stuff. It's boomeranging back to hit them smack dab in the face because of their relationship with Epstein. And they're not really trying to help these girls. And basically, justice is through the Justice Department. It's not through Congress. Congress can't arrest anybody. All Congress can do is investigate and talk. So over and over again, they just keep proving, but it's sad that any Americans are voting for them. And I just hope every day more and more of you get away from the Democrat Party and join us in the Republican Party so we can make America better.
They are.
Stop this nonsense.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
anyway, look at that, Russ.
I will.
Today's Thursday. Maybe you can have a better opinion tomorrow. But I agree with the opinion you've already got. You already figured it out. So
I'll do it. I appreciate
Chris,
that.
I understand what you're saying. I'm just worried about a few people. That's all it takes is somebody to try to assassinate someone. It only takes one.
Yeah.
So,
Thank
all right.
you, man.
Oh, wait. I wanted to ask one other question.
Go ahead.
Isn't the post office supposed to have a picture of the President of the United States?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I thought they would.
I thought so too. My husband was down there and couldn't see one and asked them about it, and they said, "Oh, they didn't receive one." So if somebody from the Republican Party has a good picture of President Trump, they might bring it down to the post office. And if a whole bunch of somebody's going to do that, wouldn't that be lovely? To keep bringing them pictures so they can't say, "Well, we just never got one."
Wow.
So
I don't know if that's required by law or not.
I don't either, but I've seen pictures in the past,
Yeah.
especially when they've been Democrats. So what's the deal? They're supposed to be neutral. So anyway, GOP, a nice picture of President Trump to the post office. See what they say to you.
I'll ask some of my post office friends. All right.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
All right. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. That was Sandy.
Yeah.
Always
And
nice.
her call to have people join the Republican Party reminded me of the meeting Tuesday night. Great event. I got there late, but I was able to fill the plate later. We had the potluck. Fantastic food. Loved it. That cornbread was amazing. I don't know who made it, but
That wasn't me.
That was amazing. They had the corn. I think they have cream corn on the bottom. Fantastic. But Corbone brought the plan and the report of what they're doing in the Congress. That was fascinating, and I heard, and I didn't know it because I got there late. But Brian Fernandez was there, the Democrats, and somebody was saying, "Yeah, he was spying on us." He doesn't. He doesn't need to spy. We're telling it. We put Carbone brought a book of exactly what we're planning to do.
Well,
anyone can
Carbone
read it.
invited him, actually.
Did he?
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
called to make sure it was okay, but yeah, of course it's okay. And
Yeah.
I talked to Brian a little bit.
He's a Democrat you can talk to.
You can
I
talk to him.
do
It doesn't
like
mean
it.
he has policies you're going to
Right.
adopt or embrace.
No, but yeah, I've had conversation with him. He's a good guy. But just a great event. We're gonna and if you've heard Sandy and you want to join the Republican Party, we've got another one coming up in December.
Sure.
Another potluck, and we got the school board, the District 1 school board guys coming in, telling what happened for the last year. There was somebody else too. I don't remember who, but just a great event. We had a good time and got a lot of great information. The ACC guys were there, and
Arizona Corporation Commission, the chairman and the vice chair.
Yeah,
both of them.
Yeah,
they came down.
Those meetings are good Tuesday evening every month.
And Arizona Corporation Commission does a lot of things, but one of the most noteworthy things they work with utilities. The biggest to us is APS,
right?
And they have to approve rate increases and question them and all that kind of stuff. But they drove over in a Tesla. and so privately, I asked them, I said, does APS subsidize that charging on that car? Wholeheartedly, no.
No. I just checked the flyer. Michelle Pena is going to be speaking at, and she's just
phenomenal.
Fantastic. I love
phenomenal.
Michelle. So,
as far as UPS having a picture of the president, my fact checker said they cannot have an unauthorized picture. So I asked,
but are they required to?
No. I asked artificial intelligence. Says no. The U.S. Postal Office specifically bans photographs of the president, vice president, or any other elected official from being displayed in the post office lobbies or public service areas. This has been a long-standing regulation in place since 1875.
Really?
To keep the agency depoliticized.
I thought for sure I've seen. Now I've seen
it's
wanted posters. Maybe that was just the
you saw
Democrats.
Biden. I thought I had, but no. But we're used to seeing because military installations, border patrol installations, customs installations,
City Hall, things like that.
Yeah, they all have.
Huh.
And this goes on to say, while many other federal government buildings often display the official portrait of the sitting president as a tradition, though not necessarily required by law, the U.S. Postal Service facilities operate under a different set of rules. The Postal Operations Manual explicitly prohibits such displays.
Interesting. It must be like that Mandela effect where everyone believes something to be a way, and it's just like the Fruit of the Loom had a cornucopia on it. Never had, things like that. I would swear up and down I've seen pictures of the president.
I thought so. Well, maybe you've been around since before 1857. I have no idea when you were born.
1970. This Sprague Richard mentioned. Well, what did they start? Because his gun business started in the 60s. I forget what he mentioned. It started in 1970, but I was like, hey, I was born.
Maybe NRA or something. I don't know.
But that was a great conversation too. Richard is awesome, and I loved what Andy's doing with the food bank. So
yeah, that's going to be Saturday.
Yeah, we should plug that.
It's coming Saturday,
9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
And that's for any thing.
And they were talking about your frozen meats from your hunting and stuff.
Right,
frozen meat.
They can take it, and normally nobody can. This is the time you can.
I like to bring chocolate because everyone talks about bringing food, but you know what?
Yeah.
You need chocolate too. So I always bring in some chocolate.
Oh, I'll be there when you bring that. I'm running out of time. I got to go, Chris. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming in. Thank you for listening. I'll be back tomorrow. AM 560.
History shows that every market fails, every currency collapses, and today the dollar is shrinking. Trillions in national debt, record high markets defying gravity, but stocks can't